Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're going to talk about real estate strategy, how to beat your competition in short-term rentals. That's right. There's a method to the madness, and it's very, very funny that short-term rentals is now on the forefront of a lot of people's minds. Why? Because that's extra streams of revenue. That's also meaning you have assets that pay you. And that means much wealth in your future if you're able to maintain it. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. And please share the videos because you never know who you're going to be able to help. You never know who's looking for something. There's people that still don't know that there's no credit check, no qualifying real estate options that they have. From discount lots, just getting land, to land modo, just getting land, to pre-construction properties all over the world where you actually put down 5, 10, 20% and make monthly payments until they actually deliver the unit. And then you have to finance it at that point, but you've already put down 30 or 40%. It's an easy strategy if you can wait 2 or 3 years. And the best news is the property values increased over time. Now, what does this have to do with short-term rentals? Well, a lot, because a lot of people are out here buying homes, buying condos, buying townhomes, buying real estate property and trying to get short-term rentals. Sooner or later, there's going to be a supply and demand issue. That's right. A supply and demand issue. And I'm going to give a little story, but let's first see who's in the house tonight. Laverne Penix is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name. And he's also known here in these YouTube streets as Mr. Cool. So I want to thank you once again for being here. And he brings his tagline this evening. It says, "Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and the trailer. Thank you so much for letting me know. That is greatly appreciated. Anybody else that comes into the nation tonight, please let me know if you have received a notification and also saw the trailer." All right. Well, let's get into this because I dropped a video earlier today. It had to deal with, well, in the Punta Cana area, the Punta Cana region. This is why I figured I might as well do a live stream because you can't very well ask questions when I have an hour and 30-minute long video. It's almost like a webinar. I was going to have part 1, part 2, I was like, let's just roll with it. So it's like a webinar, an hour and a half. So once again, you guys know how we do these live streams. This could also turn into an hour and a half. You just never know. It could turn into 3 hours because we have real estate investors in the house. And this is the place that you can get some tips how to beat your competition. It really isn't that hard, but there's so much competition. Now you have to position your property to be in a certain location. It has to be much more positioned than just an ordinary location. All right, look who's in the house. Speaking of ordinary locations, he does not have an ordinary location in his Orlando property, but welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the icon next to his name is Victor Marrero. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the signature line. Hello, all. Let's do this. Thank you so much again, Victor Marrero, for being in the house. I appreciate it. And the icon, James Way, is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And he has the icon as well. He brings his tagline this evening. The rent is too damn high. That's why I'm watching this from work. Hello, all. I saw only the notification. Thank you so much, James Way. I appreciate you letting me know. But hey, we started this off right. At least 2 people received the notification. Now, that's good. That's a start. Let's see how it goes. And I'm glad you're at work. And I'm happy you're listening while you're at work, because that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. While you're working, you should be thinking of other ways to get that real estate or passive income. It could be anything that gets you passive income. So the fact James Way is here listening, I greatly appreciate it. So let's get into this a little bit tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in case you missed the dropped hour-and-a-half video I dropped today, Puna Kana strategy. Well, we got more of it, because I'm going to give you guys a little story. I actually went on Priceline. In fact, let me show you a little Priceline. This has to do with Puna Kana. I was going to add this in the video, but I changed my mind. So, because I had some Priceline properties that I already had included, and I noticed when I went to Priceline that all of a sudden I started seeing condominium units. I was like, is this happening? Is this for real? So basically, they started accepting short-term rental properties on the booking.com platform. Now, here's the thing. This is all has to do with what I'm about to tell you now. Is booking.com came out roughly around 2014, 2015, if I recall. I just can't remember exactly. And once again, just like Airbnb, they were looking to add hotels, condos. In fact, they didn't have any rules at that time. All they know is Airbnb was out, VRBO was out. There was another, I can't remember the other short-term rental company that was out at the time that was making a little noise. And these guys called me up and they said, hey, you want to be on booking.com? So I'm like, of course. They're telling me, hey, we're going to be a new platform. We're going to be like Expedia. I said, oh, that's beautiful, because Airbnb and VRBO and all these guys, they're not on Expedia or Travelocity or any of those big time platforms. So if you're trying to compete with them and you're going to allow condo, hotel type things, and they had hotels on the platform, I said, I'm in. They sent me a contract. I can't remember what the contract was, but they sent me a contract. We were talking. I talked to one of the reps. Then the management got on. They talked. I was like going to be like the first guy that had a short-term rental that was going to be on their platform. And we have in fact, I should probably look for it. There's a contract already signed saying this is the deal. About a week later, I hit him up and I said, hey, are we going to go through with this? All of a sudden, the next thing I know, they started hemming and hawing. And I was like, what's going on? We talked for like a week or two, and you guys, we even signed up everything. So what's going on? That's around the time when one of the major, I think it was Wyndham or some big time company that's in the timeshare business, I can't really remember who it was. They came to the platform or bought them out or became partners, and they told them, oh no, you can't do any of that. And the reason why is because they planned on putting all their hotels on and then blocking anybody else that would have condos, because that'd be direct competition, because of course they charge more money than a condo owner. So they blocked them out. So now I'm looking around on Priceline, and all of a sudden I see these booking.com type things within Priceline. And I was like, my goodness, they finally caught up. This is crazy. Because they were left behind, because they couldn't compete with Expedia, Travelocity, and all these other guys, right? So I was like, I don't know how long they've been doing this, because I've never dealt with them ever since then, because of course, you know what that meant. I was sticking up my middle finger to these guys, because I said, the only reason you're doing this is because of, I believe it was Wyndham, like I said, that bought them out or had a major partnership. So they blocked everything. So I couldn't be on there. And of course, if I was going to be on there, I was going to tell my friends, hey, you need to get on here too. And of course, it never happened. So it's very interesting after all these years that I see booking.com has short-term rentals on their platform. And so does Priceline. Now, what does that mean for the rest of us? That just means there's more people. Victor Marrero is probably the only person here that has he has a cottage hotel place, the Margaritaville in Orlando, that he has a set it and forget it. He pays the management fees. They carry along and get the bookings. They do everything. Unless, of course, if there's something that needs to be repaired or whatever, I'm sure they call. But the fact of the matter is, because there's so many platforms, that actually increases your occupancy, even though there's millions more people. But now it's distributed amongst 20 different platforms instead of just 3 platforms. So there's a big difference when you start having the Evolves of the world, the Vacasas of the world, and then you have Booking.com, Priceline even involved with doing short-term rentals. So just keep that in mind, because it is very, very important. All right. Victor Marrero says, also got the YouTube notification and trailer. Thank you so much for letting me know. I appreciate that. Now, let's get into this a little bit more, shall we? I'm going to try and find out. I'm trying to find something that I was looking at, and this is what came. Oh, I forgot. I have so many windows open. Let me see if I can actually. I think this is the one. Let me see if this is the one, or is this the one? I think this is the one right here. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. And the reason why this is interesting is because look at the price. This is prime time. This is March 25th, which is tomorrow, through April 1st for 7 nights, 4 adults. And look at this, $46 per night. I don't know where this is. It says it's the Bavaro section of Paradise. It's saying it's a hotel. It says it's 1.3 miles from Bavaro Beach, 1.2 miles from Cocotel. I don't know where it is, but $46 included for free parking. It looks like it's in the Los Corrales area if you look at this map here. And I just thought this was very interesting because it doesn't look like it just looks plain and simple. So somebody would stay here at $46 per night, spending, what is that, that's roughly $350. So it ends up being $327.60 for 7 nights. That's incredible. Of course, somebody's going to stay here. So here's the question. It's not booked as of right now. And I'm going to actually show you. Let me see if I can make sure it's on the screen. I'm going to show you what it actually looks like. So this makes it very interesting how this is working. Let me, I got too many windows open. So look at this right here. Okay, so they have this little bar area. I don't know where this is, but notice how simple and plain this is. This is incredible when you look at this. And who wouldn't want to stay here unless there's bad reviews, of course, and bad neighborhood, of course. But I don't know really if there really would be a bad neighborhood. But the fact of the matter is, this is pretty nice for $46 a night. I mean, seriously, if people's just there, even if you're there for a week, I guess, bunk beds, everything, have a few kids, even has a pool. And apparently it's in like some city area, and even a bar, and maybe even a restaurant could be there because they have a little sign right here. So that's very, very interesting. So we're going to talk about some other things tonight with regard to, we've talked about it in the past. All right. But we're going to talk about it a little bit more tonight. All right. We have 3 people with the YouTube notification and saw the trailer. So let me know if anybody else come join us. All right. Very interesting article in Dominican Today regarding inheritance for expats in the DR. For those of us that own property, I recommend you read it so you understand the DR law. Victor Marrero, you're going to have to let us give us a little byline, because what's the inheritance? It's a deeded property. Are you saying, don't say anything like it reverts to like a Mexico or something, it reverts to the Dominican Republic in the hands of the Dominican Republic somehow. That wouldn't be good. So, of course, then you have to make other decisions depending on what it says. So, obviously, we're going to go check out this Dominican Republic or Dominican Today article, because this is going to affect at least 44, 45 people that I know that have purchased in the Dominican Republic. So let's go look this up for expats. Hopefully, I can find it relatively easily. But of course, when money comes rolling in, all of a sudden, change. Oh man, I forgot about something. I wanted to show something. Maybe it's still here. Let me see. Yes, it is still here. Okay, there's something else while we get to the Dominican Today article. I'm going to show you something else that popped up, which I thought was very interesting today. When I went to Dominican Today, and on Dominican Today, and you'll see here in a second, on the site, it started scrolling. And you see, remember, Cap Cana is one of the best locations. Remember that, right? It's a luxury, it's upscale, there, just like Casa de Campo that I love. Same type of thing. Look at what this here. There, okay, 700 square meter lot, only minutes from beach and golf club, $300,000 for the lot. Now, if you're going to build a house for $200 a square meter, which is doable at this moment, you could build a 2,000 square foot. It's going to cost you $400,000. You could have a $600,000 spend. That thing in Cap Cana could be worth over $1 million. This is a potential real estate opportunity. You just have to find out how much is a 2,000 square foot villa, or 2,500, which now costs you 5,000 if it's 200 a square meter. But you could start talking about a simple, what would that be? 1,900 square meters or something. 2,000 square meters gets you roughly a, I don't know, 2,300 square foot villa, custom made to your liking in Cap Cana. How much would that really cost you to make? Because I don't know the Dominican Republic fees and all that. But in theory, it could cost you roughly $600,000, $700,000, and it could be worth over $1 million. That's something to consider. We start talking about real estate strategies. That's what's happening. Notice the land price is way more expensive than anything in Punta Cana proper. They're selling lots for 60 grand, 70 grand, 80 grand. Not nowhere near 300,000. But that also goes why we talked about discount lots, land modo, because when real estate prices go down, land prices go down. So that's when you want to buy the land, because when real estate prices go up, the land price becomes more valuable as well. All right, here's the inheritance that he's referring to here. Last will and testament. Let's just get under the Dominican law when it comes to the distribution of assets upon death. Forced heirship, or I don't know what that means, takes precedence. Heirship means your surviving spouse, and male and female, have the right to inherit physical assets. For example, if you had a spouse and one child, your estate would be divided by 50% spouse and child, or 33% if there is a spouse and 2 children. It is possible to disinherit a child, but you must present your case for the child should be disinherited, and the judge must rule in your favor. It is also important to note for expats or retirees living in the DR, you will have a will in place in your home country. It must be registered in the DR to be enforceable. Okay. Otherwise, under the Dominican law, the law of expats, last place of residence, takes precedence. And again, if your will excludes one of your heirs, you must present your case as to why the Dominican family courts. General protest for inheritance is as follows. The heirs must pay inheritance tax, currently 3% for both heirs who are citizens or non-citizens. Documentation, birth certificate, death certificate, and will. Once the court validates the documents as proof of payments, it will authorize the right to proceed and conduct survey. Your attorney will deposit a new file. Multiple properties, titles will be distributed. Heirs will often sell the property, divide the proceeds equally as stipulated by Dominican law, versus splitting a house 2 or 3 ways. However, if you decide your property to remain in the family, you want to plan accordingly or consider holding your property in a business entity. I was just getting ready to say, there's your play. If you have any stipulations and worried about any splits, then you know what's going to happen. You have to put it under a business entity. So the business entity, you can always move. That is exactly the last line that we and me, I was going to tell you, a local attorney specialized in real estate on the DR will be able to advise. So that's what I was suspecting that was going to be the end result. If you don't want to go through any will madness, then you just simply transfer your property into a business entity. So then it's under the business entity, and when you pass away, then that business entity is slid to whoever you want it to, and therefore it's not divided among everybody. Pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen, but this is similar to some state laws in the United States, one being in Georgia. If you have parents and they own property, they pass away, if anybody comes to contest it, the spouse automatically can share it and can not lose more than 30%. But the fact of the matter is, 70% of it can be taken by other heirs. That's the crazy part. Even if you're married past 20, 30 years, 40 years, it does not matter. If there's children involved, the surviving spouse, if the children want a piece of the estate, they actually can do it. That's why James Brown from Georgia had a problem when all these people in DNA tests came forward and said, I'm part of the family. So they could always chip away at the estate, and the living spouse either had to pay them off or make some sort of settlement because he owned 30% of her own house that she's lived in for 20 years. That's incredible. But anyhow, this is how countries, states, and cities and governments take people's properties, because everybody is greedy and there's always going to be a dispute. So if somebody has a property and it's worth $1 million, and somebody realizes, oh my goodness, I'm part, and there's only 2 or 3 of us, so that means I get percent of that's $300,000. Hell yeah, I'll sell it. And meanwhile, the other person's like, but you had nothing to do with this. But there's laws, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little discerning, but as we know, if you want to keep it in certain hands, then you have to change it into a business entity. And if you want to keep it open, then you know what the ramifications are going to be. So all I'm saying, all right, he's saying bad sound. Let me go check this out once again. Thank you so much for letting me know, Brian. Why on Friday? I noticed on Fridays we have bad sound. Let me go get some audio help here. Mic checks. Let's move this around a little bit. Let's see here. All right. Let me know if this is any better. Hopefully it's a little. Let me know, Brian P. I appreciate you letting me know that. I don't know why it would be doing that, but I see we have a little problem in the background here because I don't have any listings. I could usually tell how many people's watching the live stream, and it's not going to be very, has improved. Thank you for letting me know. And here we are once again. We have Miracle Bro in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name. And he says, SSN Nation Unite is his tagline. Millionaires and billionaires in the house. Exactly, Miracle Bro. There's the positive attitude that we need around here because of all the devastation all around the world and the uncertainty. There's always silver linings. There's always a way to do something. And so we're going to tonight. Thank you so much, James Way. I appreciate it. Brian P. Letting me know that. Okay, here we go. Victor Morrell, for the first time, we decided to give a discount to a renter complaining about the dishwasher. I'd rather have a satisfied customer. Today, there was nothing wrong with it. Yeah, Victor Morrell, I'm surprised due to the high volume of renters that you have. But see, it's the caliber of renters that you have. So it's not surprising to me because over the course of time, people like to complain, trying to get a little discount or whatever, and they'll say some crazy stuff, and then you go check it out, and it's like, just like you said, there's nothing wrong with this. What do they talk about? But hey, taking off a couple $100 or whatever, the overall big scheme of things, when you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's not going to hurt, and as long as you can keep people happy, that as a vacation renter. Actually, speaking of how to beat your competition in short-term rentals, let's just start right here. There's a problem. Customer will assess the problem, even though the person said, even though there was nothing wrong, he still said, is it worth it for me to have somebody actually try to badmouth and make a big deal out of it and turn it into make it, because when you write it down, if somebody says, oh yeah, I stayed at the apartment and the dishwasher didn't work the whole time, was this what it did, and then knowing full well it actually worked, now you have to sit there and respond with, actually, the dishwasher, after we checked and the maintenance guys came and everybody checked it out, it actually worked, but they already left you whatever rating they're going to leave you, possibly. And so therefore there's no way to rectify that damage. So it's just easier to just be like a good rental host and say, hey, I'll take off a few $100. All right. If that helps you out, do you think that's a fair assessment? And they say yes, then you go on. Now they feel good, even though, they might have ripped you off a little bit, but karma's a bitch. So that's one of the things right there. So we'll start it off with that, because that's how you beat your competition, because reviews ultimately are going to end up important. In fact, they're going to be more important over time, because more people are getting into the short-term rental business on all continents, because that is a bona fide way that people are going to definitely pay you, because vacationing is not going to stop. There's still people with disposable income, no matter what the economy is. People are still coming. It's just that, are you in the sector of the rental market where people make, let's just say, $150,000 a year, $100,000 a year or more, who have disposable income? They're going to travel anyhow. Doesn't matter about the economy. Or is your place catered to where it's cost efficient? Just like when I showed you that $46 per night, it's sitting over there. It's perfect for people that really can't afford to spend $146 a night. And it's simple. It's, it wasn't anything crazy. Nothing was appearing to be all busted up and all that. But notice that is not booked up. So there's a reason somebody says, well, I don't want to stay in that place, because it doesn't probably have the amenities that somebody's looking for, or it may not be in the area that people want to stay at. But the fact of the matter is, it just goes to show you that even if it's $327 for a week, nobody wants to stay there. So that's a low end type of environment, I would think. But a person that doesn't make that much, are they actually going to be flying there during spring break, where it could possibly be $600 round trip or $500 round trip for each person? So you're spending $2,000 just on airfare if 4 people are going, if a family of 4 are going. So where are you going to stay if you do that? If you can afford the $2,000, you're probably not going to spend $327. You're going to go, hey, let's go get another place that's like $750 or $850 for the week. That's in the section that we want to be in. We don't care about saving $500, because we're already going to spend over $3,000 just for accommodations and airfare. So those are the type of things that people start thinking about, and you have to think about this as well. So this is why I always say, go with upscale if you can. All right. And there's nothing wrong with low scale, because I dropped a video earlier today and there's a person that got a Celine 5 out by the freeway, north of, almost by Cocatel, but on the freeway, across the freeway from it. And it was like $70,000, $80,000. And all it has is a pool, child's play area, and that's it. 2 pools, a child's play area is all I can remember. I don't even know if it has the fitness center. And so they have over 100 reviews, and it's $70 a night. And everybody that's talking says it's a great place to stay. Love it. Everything's fine. But again, it's not nowhere near down, not nowhere near anything really, other there are like restaurants about a half a mile away. But again, you got to walk or either drive, everything that you're going to do. But the property value when they bought in, that is also what you need to write down. You can't just go out here and crazy stuff and say, you know what, I'm going to go buy a $700,000 condo and then not have a strategy on doing it. You make money when you buy your investment. not after you buy your investments. You have to determine what's going on when you buy. All right, Brian P. Once again, oh, I like icon next to your name. Hello, Eric. Hello, family the time this evening. Thank you once again for being here. I appreciate it. It says again, Eric, you keep freezing up. Okay, hey, check your Wi-Fi reset, because I don't see any freezing. I don't see anything happening on my end. I'm actually going to go and see if I can find this live stream. So interesting. It doesn't even show it's on. Okay, it says that's interesting. I'm going to find out here shortly. So one of the little keys to one of the keys to the hold on a second. I'm watching myself here. All right. One of the to real estate, number one key is location, 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 as you guys know. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, that is known. Number two, you need to understand the demand for that location. So once you understand the demand at location, then you understand why it may cost what it costs to buy. So just keep that in mind. So there's different ways that things become of value. It becomes of value by the location, because is it by the beach that everybody wants to be? All right, Brian P, double reset your whatever device you're using, because I'm looking on my phone. So on my phone, it's working pretty good. I don't see any problem with any feeds or anything. At least I don't have the audio coming out, so I really can't tell if audio is being choppy. But yeah, I see I got a little glitch here myself. So we'll see. But it seems like it's going fine. It glitched for a second, but it could be glitchy going on there. But double check your end, because I'm for the most part it's playing pretty well. So I'll it off now. But nonetheless, so here's the deal with it. You guys know, you've been around now. It's all about location, or just like the big boys. Just like the big boys. He keeps saying I'm freezing up. So like I said, just double check. Just like the big boys. Sometimes you go down to the planning department, the building department, you find out what's going to be built out here in 2 years. Just like when I did a video a year and a half ago talking about downtown Punta Cana, and you guys could easily see the 4 to 6 to 8 year plan. It was telling you this is what we plan on doing. So therefore, you needed to figure out, hey, if I'm a developer or I'm thinking about getting something, then you're saying, I'm going to get something downtown, because of all these items are coming downtown. I can get a 2-bedroom downtown for $100,000 right now, $122,000 right now. All right, at the time. Now they're 167, 200,000, 190, 170. They're a little more than 100 now. No way to get 100,000 for a 2-bedroom, as far as I know, for downtown Punta Cana. 3 years from now, you know there'll be 2 more hotels. You know there's going to be a condo hotel. You know they're going to start building up on their convention center. So now downtown is going to be more valuable. Downtown Punta Cana, I'm referring to. It's just the same way as what happens where everybody knows in the world, basically Disney World. That's a known quantity, a known place that a lot of people realize. A lot of people have been there. You realize Disney is still surrounded by a lot of land. You still drive into Disney. It's not like they've built up all of Disney on their own land. They still have so much land, it's ridiculous. But on the highways and the byways entering into Disney, there are hotels, restaurants, shops. Everybody's eating off all of these people coming in to that city so they can go to Disney World. That is what you need to look at. So we have the resident guy here, Victor Marrero, who, again, bought a cottage, and I believe it was $250,000. Yeah, it was. I know the numbers. It was $250,000 at the time. I remember getting something on it. And at the time, it was out a little ways from Disney. There's a lot of properties in Disney to rent, but Margaritaville has a name. It's not just an ordinary place. And a cottage at the time is major, and their brand matters. So not only was it location, It was also the branding and what the amenities were going to be at that location. So when they said, oh, yeah, you're going to have some water here, you're going to have restaurants here, you're going to have all inclusive possibilities, you're going to have all this, and all you got to do is have a cottage over here, and we're going to rent it for you. Now, they have a brand. Everybody comes in, and it's not a brand such as somebody's going to pay $70 per night. This isn't like a, what do you call these? Holiday Inn Express, right? It's not that. It's not Motel 6. No, it's way better than that. So now he gets the rental rates and the occupancy rate because there's demand for people to stay there. People are saying, I'm not going to go stay on these hotels and places on 192. Why would I do that? Why am I going to spend $75 a night and stay at these crappy places? I'll spend $300-400. I'll spend $500 per day in certain instances because I know what I get here. This is nice. This is beautiful. I got shopping. I got restaurants. I have everything I need right here on the premises. So location matters and the amenities matter. So it's not just good enough to have a cottage. Anybody could have a cottage or a villa or a townhome in Orlando. But are you going to be able to get an 80, 85, or 90% occupancy rate? Are you going to be able to charge $300, $400, $500 per night all year long? That's the question you need to ask yourself. So those are the things, for starters, when it comes to real estate that you have to deal with if you're a serious investor and thinking that you want to win at this game. So everybody here knows about pre-construction properties. Everyone here has watched the growth of Punta Cana, the growth of the Dominican Republic. You've watched it, and we have over 40 people that are involved here in the SSN Nation that have bought something in Dominican Republic. It's growing no matter how you slice it. In fact, I'm going to do this right here because let me play this video. I was going to do this, but now I'm going to do it. I forgot I was going to start this off because you guys know I have Cruise on Land ranked as number one. So the fact that they're and it's number one, the bullet, because of what happened is this whole time in the last 5-6 months, everybody, well, only one person kept calling it like a theme park, right? And I was like, okay, if you call the water park a theme park, if you call like the man-made beach a theme park, I mean, okay, I can kind of get that. I didn't realize it wasn't just a metaphor. They were actually calling it like a theme park. It wasn't. It was actually, they are doing like an amusement park of some sort at Cruise on Land, which now means the value that they have right now is way below value. But I want you guys to hear this for yourself, because this is the director, and he is the director for Cruise on Land, and he's on Cesar Fregosa. I think it's Fregosa. I said Fregosa or something like that, but it's Fregosa. Cesar Fregosa. He's a realtor in the DR, and he's on his he's doing a live stream, I guess, or he did some video. This is 10 months ago. 10 months ago. And everybody, I always asked, hey, what was the price at that time? A studio unit was $53,000. It's only $6,000 more now, $60,000. April 1st, the prices are going up at Cruise on Land, just so you know. But 10 months ago, this is what he was saying, and I never saw this or never knew nothing about it. But check this out. I'm about to show you now. So get your pen, pads, and papers ready for this. Little family, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Very, very happy to see you. And what's going on? It didn't bring you on the screen, but thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. All right. So I think you should be able to still hear me. And I'm actually going to play this on the screen. And here we go. I just want to get little family up here on stage. And again, thank you so much for being here tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure everybody you hit smash that like button. And if you like what we're talking about, subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated. Now, I'm going to get into playing this, and I'm going to have it on the CC closed caption, so all those who don't understand Spanish, you can actually read what he is saying. And I'm actually going to let this run a little bit longer than what I did in the video today, because this is 2021. Remember, 10 months ago is May 2022. So he's going over stats from 2021 and early 2022 potentially for the tourism numbers. Notice what he's talking about. This is why he put Cruise on Land in this location, his group or whoever the group is, because they understood the tourism numbers, just like everybody here. You guys know the tourism numbers that we've been talking about. 7.5 million tourists came to the Dominican Republic. He starts going over some tourism numbers. That's incredible. And so when you understand, and he's putting in 4,000 units and more. In fact, I've seen some other things before that I didn't want to say anything until, because I don't know what's ultimately going to happen. But they do have some other land next to where they're putting Cruise on Land. They do own more land than what they're building on right now. And now I know why. There's an amusement. But check it out. Hear it from the guys. I got the notification, Eric. Thank you so much for letting me know. That's 5 people that has received a notification tonight. I greatly appreciate that. And in fact, I don't know why this isn't coming up on the screen. I'm having some glitches, it looks like, but it's okay. I'm going to play this. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Let me make sure that volume. So look at what he says, and I'm going to let this play for about 4 or 5 minutes. When they start talking about tourism, I'm going to let that play as well, because this is what they were saying back then. And now you understand, a year later, it broke even higher records than what they're going to be talking about. And next year, this time, we're going to be talking about how instead of 7.5 tourists to the Dominican Republic came, it's going to be like 8.1, 8.5, not including the cruise lines. But they're going to be breaking that record from 2018, 2019 is going to be broken, all right, this year. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Muchísimas gracias, César. Estimado inversionista, a lo largo de 2 programas, que Cruise on Land es un destino ecosostenible, un complejo turístico, innovador, disruptivo, que va a construir una nueva historia en República Dominicana, que estamos construyendo una marca país, que va a posicionarnos a nivel nacional e internacional, y que es una inversión con alta rentabilidad y seguridad, porque vas a recibir tu propiedad, tu título de propiedad inmobiliaria en un maravilloso complejo que lo tiene todo. Yo quisiera comenzar a mostrar parte de estas grandes amenidades, porque recuerden, más de 100 amenidades distribuidas a lo largo de todo el complejo turístico. Adelante, por favor. Vamos a empezar por explicar, César, que los inversionistas va a tener su edificio y va a tener su unidad distribuidos en 2 edificios, es decir, y tienes un mundo de amenidades en todo el complejo.
Son 12 edificios, porque 12, parece que tú dices 2.
12 edificios. 12
una docena de edificios.
Son más de 4,000 unidades inmobiliarias en la cual puedes tomar la gran decisión de tu vida de poder invertir en esta nueva marca país que estamos construyendo.
Cada uno de esos 12 edificios, ¿qué tiene?
Tiene sus propias amenidades, tiene su propia infraestructura, sus propias facilidades, sus propias piscinas, sus gazebos, sus jacuzzis.
Con la imagen, por favor.
Vamos a apoyarnos con las imágenes.
La imagen. Ahí está. Escúchame, hermano, para que la gente lo entienda bien. Ese es uno de los 12 edificios
que explicábamos en el master plan.
Cada de esos 12 edificios, ¿cuántos apartamentos tiene?
Tiene sus propias amenidades. Estamos haciendo unos ajustes.
Okay.
Y vamos en estos momentos tenemos aproximadamente
but the fact of the matter is this. I'm going to go back a little bit and I'm going to watch watch this section here. I must have bypassed it already, but check this out because you saw that portion, but check this out. Here we go.
Mucha atención. Presten mucha atención. No quiten los ojos del televisor, porque ahora les vamos a enseñar las amenidades, algunas de las amenidades, las principales amenidades que va a tener este proyecto y que son las razones por las cuales ustedes van a disfrutar de su propiedad y a sacarle mucho dinero. Hernando, háblanos de las amenidades de Cruz Online.
Muchísimas gracias, César. Estimado inversionista, a lo largo de 2 programas hemos sustentado que Cruz Online es un destino ecosostenible, un complejo turístico innovador, disruptivo, que va a construir una nueva historia en República Dominicana, que estamos construyendo una marca país, que vamos a posicionarnos a nivel nacional e internacional y que es una inversión con alta rentabilidad y seguridad porque vas a recibir tu propiedad, tu título de propiedad inmobiliaria en un maravilloso complejo que lo tiene todo. Yo quisiera comenzar a mostrar parte de estas grandes amenidades porque recuerden, más de 100 amenidades distribuidas a lo largo de todo el complejo turístico. Adelante, por favor. Vamos a empezar por explicar, César, que cada uno de los inversionistas va a tener su edificio y va a tener su unidad habitacional en un edificio con sus propias amenidades. Vamos a tener 24 piscinas centrales en la cual tiene una área para niños y para adultos.
I'm going to stop this for now because it should have been at the 2021 mark and it's not where it's supposed to be. So this is very, very interesting. Now I'm going to have to say he didn't mention it on that section that I'm trying to find, which is very, very interesting. But it should have been in that section where he mentioned the amusement park. And also we didn't get to the tourism section. So somehow this has moved, or I didn't mark it in the right location. So it's my fault on that. And now I can't find it. And that makes me a little ill right now because it was in that section when they started talking about the tourism as well. So I cannot find it. So sorry about that. You're going to have to check out the video that I dropped earlier today because this right here, for some reason, I can't get it straight for you. I thought I had it already set up and ready to roll, and it's not. So I'm a little upset about it. But nonetheless, I'm looking around because I'm trying to scroll through in the background and see what we have and where he's mentioning this because they went over the tourism numbers. So I was looking for that, and I can't find the tourism numbers anywhere either. So again, you're gonna have to watch the video I dropped earlier today. Unfortunately, that's an hour-and-a-half video, and it's somewhere around the 20-minute mark or 15-minute mark that he's talking, and I kept it on the screen. So if anybody saw where they were talking about the amusements park and on the liking like Disney, let me know. I might have missed it, but hopefully you guys heard it or saw it because that is very, very special. And that's right, little family and amusement. Yes, Cruise on Land, and they're talking like similar to what Disney does. Good evening, Mr. Bird from Wilson Co. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with the icon next to his name. Just the man I needed to speak with tonight because, of course, we're talking about how to beat your competition in short-term rentals, real estate strategy. But in case you can't get your real estate because you can't get funding, look who's here. Wilson Koo with QuickEasyFunds.com. He can help us out and let us know what the short-term rental market loans are looking like. Maybe you can let us know, is it 50%? Is it 60%? Is it 40% loan to value? And what are the interest rates? If you know Wilson Koo, and let's bring his tagline in. Good evening, Mr. Bird and SSN family. 100% facts. I sell money. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He sells money. So you have to go to Quick, Q-U-I-K, easy as in zebra, funds.com. Quick, E as in Eric, Z as in zebra, funds.com. Go there. He can help do all kind of funding for business ventures, for real estate ventures, for multifamily ventures, and hopefully the short-term rentals, because let's call it what it is. The interest market, the credit market is going to get a little tighter. So stand by for that, but just you're lucky enough that you don't have any deliveries right now. So you're going to be good, because when they start reducing the interest rates in about 6 months, now there'll be a little relief. And so then they'll start loosening up some of that money. But Wilson Koo, let us know what it looks like in that market, if you don't mind. Wilson Koo says, evening at Laverne P. Victor M. James Way, showing some love in the house. Curtis Davis is also here. Mr. Financial has arrived with the icon next to his name as well. And he brings his tagline this evening. Good evening, SSN family, passive income, and let's get the money, the bag of money. Always be making money. That's the Mr. Financial ABMM. That's from him, ladies and gentlemen. I always have to repeat it because I love it. And also, speaking of always be making money, you know when somebody always drops you some information and updates about financial news and information? Well, guess who does that? Mr. Financial's alter ego here on YouTube streets is Chili Davis with 2 L's. CHILLY Davis. Go show some love at his channel. Make sure you subscribe. We got to get him up to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you check out his videos, because he needs those 4,000 hours of watch time as well. And he's giving you helpful information, a la SSN Nation style. No credits, no guru zone, no university cost, no nothing. Because this is SSN Nation Academy, SSN Nation University. It doesn't cost you anything, ladies and gentlemen. And go check out Chili Davis with 2 L's. That's his YouTube channel. And Curtis Davis showing some love. Welcome back, Mr. Koo. Exactly. Welcome back, Koo, man. We appreciate it. Very, very nice to see you once again. I know you're busy during this time of year trying to flip some things. At Eric dropping those gems. Thank you so much, Curtis Davis. I appreciate it. Just like you dropping gems on your channel. Have to do it when we can. Now, let's get back into it. Did you guys see? Hopefully you saw something where I missed it, where he was talking about Disney amusement park and trying to be like similar to like Disney, a global brand. And he's like, I'm like, oh, wait a minute now. Holy smokes. This is going to be larger than we thought. There's going to be more than what they're showing right now. That's incredible to think. So anybody that has any condos in Punta Cana area, your competition just got a little more stiffer. But is it really competition? That's the $1 million question. You can have a short-term rental. You can have a regular condo. It's just that you can't overpay for that condo. Remember, number one rule: location, location, location. Then you have to figure out the value of the condo at the time. So you can't just go out here and buy a condo because it costs $60,000. And then think, oh, yeah, I'm going to be able to charge $250 per night. See, that's not going to go. That's not going to fly. Sure, you're still going to make 10 to 15% or more on a return on your money. But the person that has something like a cruise on land, clearly he's going to be able to charge more than a regular condo with a pool. It's going to be able to charge more than a condo with a pool and a fitness easily. It's going to be able to charge more than a condo at the beach because there's only a beach and a pool. So how much is the value that you're bringing to your short-term rental? But it's always better if your short-term rental brings the value in without you having to do anything. So when Victor Morel's sitting there at Margaritaville, just the fact that you own property at Margaritaville, that brings in customers. There's a demand there. He doesn't have to go above and beyond because he's not in some random residential neighborhood. That's a whole different ball game. You're getting smoked if you're in a random residential neighborhood. Now, the only way you don't get smoked if you're in a random residential neighborhood is when you do some other things. When all of a sudden you turn your random residential neighborhood, villa, townhome, condo, and all of a sudden you say, you know what? I'm going to furnish this very nicely. And I'm going to extol the attributes that we have here in our neighborhood, like our community pool, our basketball court, let's say. Okay, that's all we have. But now when I'm on my platforms and people see the pictures, they're looking at a very nicely furnished place. All right. So what I'm going to show you is something now And that is one of the major tenets as well. After you get your location down, after you figure out the demand, after you say, okay, we know we can live with this, we know how we're going to market it, the price is based on where the location is. So in other words, there's no way I can sit here and say, okay, I'm going to go to Cap Cana and I'm going to be able to get a studio or a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom for $100,000. That's not going to happen because that's upscale. That's luxury. You're going to have to spend in the 200,000s to get something in Cap Cana. All right. 264 minimum, probably about now. 300. That'll get you like a 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, 2 bedrooms. Okay. But in theory, you should be able to charge at least $250, $300 per night. Now, somebody over in another location who got something in just random condo, pool, fitness, and it's no security, no nothing, and they bought theirs for $100,000, they're not going to generally be able to charge $250 a night. That's just not the way the ecosystem works. And if you were able to charge $250 a night, then the place in Cap Cana would be able to charge $400 per night. That's the difference. So that's why location matters. That's all I'm going to tell you about that right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. I'm going to go over here and let me see if I can put some. Oh, here's one right now. Here's the one I used today earlier. And this is very, very interesting because of right now in Cap Cana, there's a place that is, I believe it's 3 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. It's like a townhome or a villa. I can't really tell what it is, but this is very, very special here. I am amazed that this is even available with a 8.9 rating out of 5 stars, which means most of the time it's a 5-star. Some people give it a 4, but then 10 people give it a 5-star. So it's staying around 4.9. This is incredible. $198 a night in Cap Cana. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. $198 a night. So I'm going to actually go to this because I want you to see the guy purchased this. Now, keep in mind, I don't know how much they purchased this for. I don't know how old this place is. It could be 5 years old when they were able to buy it for $200,000. I don't know. It could have been 105 years ago or whenever he bought this. This person is charging only $198 for this type of unit. Now, let me see what we're doing here. What's this thing isn't coming up quick enough. But here we go. Penthouse, 61 reviews. These are all great reviews. Now, 3 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. But you know what? Juanillo Beach that you see down here, world famous. The fact is you can walk to it. Let's see if that's the case, but you can walk to the place. Our beautiful penthouse is located in an exclusive complex of whatever, I don't know how to pronounce this, La Arboleda in Cap Cana. The second floor has a large and bright private terrace with its own jacuzzi. That's a plus for a lot of people. The first floor, large living room, balcony, dining room with 8 chairs, beautiful, fully equipped kitchen. You will have also find 3 bedrooms with attached full baths and balconies. That's even better. This is luxury, ladies and gentlemen. This is like 3 bedrooms with en suites. That's beautiful. Everybody has their own bathroom. And some has balconies as well. This is luxury. This is great. 4th room with bathroom, air conditioning, TV for 1 person, 30. That must be the maid's room. So that's pretty cool. API Beach is located in the South Marina. The same area, there is free parking lot, which you can use and walk to the beach or take a walk through the marina, which is also beautiful. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Also the Blue Lake. Don't miss it, in addition to having a super good time. So on their Blue Lake, you know, people go swimming, kayaking, doing all that stuff. So again, our complex has a swimming pool. And notice there's nothing else here. Include access to 2 beaches, Juanillo and Appy. Okay, so those are the 2 beaches you can go to, but the complex itself, nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. So now you tell me what the value of this property is. They're first of all, they're in an upscale location named Cap Cana. Were they able to buy this place for like $200,000 back in the day? Or did they have to spend $350,000 now? That's the question, but they have 61 views. And again, garden views, no ocean views. And look at their calendar here. For some reason, they have this week available, 25th through April 1st. Then they have the 1st through roughly the 3rd. But then from there, the 4th through the 10th is booked up. 4th through the 9th, booked up. And then the 14th on through April is all booked up. All booked up. And then we get to May, and it just looks like a couple nights thus far in May. So here's the question. What does the place look like? And according to this, it says $220 a night, but then we get a discount. So that's how we get to $198. Now, I want to look at this because you guys know you should have a place that is furnished very nicely. You don't mess around with the furnishings, all right? Don't mess around. See, that's an issue. You'll have other owners charging 40% less than everyone else in the project just to fill up the calendar. I will always be competitive, but I'll have a minimum per night. Exactly, Victor Marrero. And we'll talk about that in a second. I'll come back to that because what he's saying is I'll just go to it right now. What Victor Marrero is talking about right now, I'm going to talk about it. Because I'm pretty sure at Margaritaville, there's some people that everybody does this in every complex. Everybody, there's always a few people. Let's say the going rate is normally $300, $299 per night. There's always somebody that's going to go, you know what? I just want to rent all the time. So I'm going to charge like less than everybody else. Like in this case, if you book a week, it's $198 per night, roughly on average. So there's other people that owners get mad. They get upset. They're like, why is this guy doing this when we can charge $325 a night? Look at this. Everybody's charging like $299, $295, $325, $350, depending on little nuances. And all of a sudden you have somebody doing $198. Well, let him be him or let her be her is what I always say, because I'm sitting there saying I would rather leave my place empty than to devalue and say, okay, I'm going to match this guy, because I will point something out to you before we get even further into this. I'm going to show you something right now. And this is where people, I'm not going to blame anybody for getting more rentals and getting more money coming in. But if I'm able to get 350, 345, 325, and you're renting around here doing 200, I'm getting $125 more per night than you are. So you have to rent more nights just to stay even with what I'm renting. And I have several things that come into play. Less wear and tear on my unit. That's one of the first and foremost issues, because you have less renters and you don't have to worry about housekeeping, cleanup, and all this, because you're doing multiple rentals. When this guy's doing, okay, he's doing like a third more rentals, but we're making the same amount of money. Or I might be even making more. Depends on how many nights they're renting. But there's one other thing that people forget. Notice his is still available. How come there's no others available in that building, in that complex? That's the question you start asking yourself. You're just like, well, wait a minute. This place is pretty nice. How come there's nobody else in his whole complex? Why aren't they doing what they need to do? What's happening here? Let me go show you something right now. Let me go back real quick. Let me see if I can go back. I think I can go back. Let's see. I want to go back to, I don't know if, well, we'll see. I think I just skipped to this page. So I didn't want to do it this way. But here's what I'm going to actually do too. I'm going to go back and I'm going to go see if there's somebody else in that complex. Because remember, everybody's booked up. He's the last one. So you don't know if he just reduced the prices because he hasn't rented it out. Everybody else pretty much has. And they just said, okay, I'm just going to take mine down to $199 instead of $299 so he can get a rental. That could be a case. This is why you don't try to match people. You go by what things are based on. So look, I'm going to try and go down here. I don't see anything else kind of even available. This is crazy. Look at this. When you start really looking at this is incredible. Are there any other rent? This is okay. Here we go. Finally, nobody else was popping up. I was beginning to be like, what's going on? Okay, here we go. We have somebody else in his project. Look at this. 115. New, cozy, charming, fully equipped. It's not a 3-bedroom now. You have another person in his complex. Look at this. 78 a night. Apartment, corner, Canamar. Okay, actually, I went to go look at Canamar before it was built. It's nowhere near. It's in Cap Cana, but you got to drive. It's nowhere near. Look, you can already see. This is not where you want to really be. It's over here in this weird section. Yeah, they have these nice little places, private condo, 1-bedroom, 99 a night. These were 130, 140,000 in 2020. So this $100 per night in this area would make perfectly good sense, especially this place right here, because I actually went over to Cap Cana and went to where they were building. They had the shell of it built. They didn't have it, the bottom section built or anything like that. They just had a shell built. But this is nowhere near where I can just walk. It looks like you can walk, but it's a walk. It's a ways. It's nowhere near where you want to be in reality. So this place there's I can't remember the name of that complex next door where Canamar is going to be. I think this is the place right here. 135 a night. These condos generally have a pool, a fitness center. That's it. They're just like ordinary condos in Cap Cana, and they weren't that expensive because the projects themselves aren't generally that big. This looks like Canamar again. 132 per night. So this guy has a larger unit than everybody else. So actually, he didn't bring the price down. He's bringing the price up. He has a larger unit than everybody else, and he's charging more, just like he should be. So I thought he was charging less than everybody. He's charging more than everybody. So he's the guy over there saying, I'm not going to charge no $100, $150, $175 to get rentals. He's still keeping his. He's one of the most expensive. This is the other person, the most expensive, $200 per night. So he and this person are the only ones that's sitting there saying, you know what, we're not going down. And there's a third. We're going to do 200 a night. You guys can. Oh, that's Tanama. Yeah, that's the other place. Tanama Lodge. That's also a condominium project near Canamar as well. It's a nice little area where this is at, but shopping, restaurants, all that is not near here. So just so you know, all right? Now, I'm very happy to see it's reversed. He's not the one bringing the prices down. Victor Marrero, there's other people trying to charge $99 a night, $119 a night. Here's a guy, $76 per night. Canamar, he has 6 rentals, 4.6. But again, all they have is this pool, seating areas under the pavilion, and there's no restaurants, no nothing. I don't remember. They have a fitness thing, though. It's like an open area with glass fitness center, as I recall. It's small, nothing major, and it's only like 4 floors high. It's not really that big of a complex. And again, it was around 125, 135,000, somewhere in there. So these prices make sense. Remember, I like 1%, but I like it reversed where they're charging. There's 3 people who's saying we're not going for the 130s, the 120s, the 116s, the 114. You're going to have this at Vista Cana. You're going to have this downtown at the beach. This is what you're going to have. You're going to have people doing this. $99 per night, $119 a night, and you're going to be like $116 a night, and you're going to be like, what the hell's going on? Why are these guys doing this in this neighborhood? Even though these aren't the same condos, but they're in the neighborhood. And then you have these other guys going, you guys can do whatever you want. But this guy here has one of the best units around. So I'm going to go back to it. So I like it that it's reversed than what I was originally thinking it was. But okay, I hate how this changes screens. So I always have to go back. Let's see. Let me know. But I like it that way. But there's always what Victor Marrero was saying. Always somebody that's going to do some crazy. Let's go. Yeah, I got a little problem here. See how many people and lower electricity and water bill, less times you pay a cleaning crew. You also minimize your exposure to customers complaining about ridiculous issues. All of that, ladies and gentlemen, all of that. There is a method to the madness. You don't have to sell your units short when you know what you have. That's the question. When you are buying and beating your competition, you have to know what you have. You cannot sit there and think that they're doing better because they're going, oh, yeah, I have 95% occupancy. Okay, yeah, but you're charging $99 per night. So again, you could do a whole month and all you have maximum is $3,000. And your max of $3,000 means after you take off cleaning crews, after you take off managements or whatever arrangements you have, you're easily going to be down to $2,200. Meanwhile, we're going to charge $200 per night, and all we got to do is 10 nights, and we match you pretty much 10 nights to 15 nights. You got to do 30 nights, and we're going to match you half the time, and we make the same money. And like Victor Marrero puts it on there, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you beat your competition, because again, he sets it along. He's right. Less wear and tear, lower electricity and water bills, less time you pay a cleaning crew. You also minimize your exposure to customers complaining about ridiculous issues. And that is one of those things. I'm going to tell you something. In a higher end location, what I find is that most people who pay more, yes, they may expect more, but generally they're going to stay in a better place. So they're giving much more leeway. They sit there and will call you and say, hey, you know, the coffee maker doesn't work or whatever. Somehow it went out, just letting you know. And then, of course, you just turn around and say, okay, there'll be a coffee maker sent over there in the next, 24 hours or less today, So it's no big deal. It's not like it's major. So there's no problem like that. But if you have a low end, a simple thing like a coffee maker, the people are leaving bad reviews. It's crazy how it works. All right, just saying. But all of this is a reason why you can beat your competition, because you're not going to stoop down to the low end levels. Even when you're in a high end location like Cap Cana, you have people reducing their prices to compete against you. So there's people competing against this guy, even though his unit is a 3-bedroom and it looks like it's 5.5 bath, and they're calling it a villa. I actually went to go look after I did the video today. This is not even a villa. It's really a townhome. So that's the whole thing. Victor Marrero, right on. Think strategically. Big picture. That same customer that returns to USA dissatisfied will tell others not to go to DR. This affects all of us. We need to get involved with our projects, HOAs. Exactly, Victor Marrero. Exactly. So what's going to end up happening is exactly what he said. People are going to stay at your place. So if you're staying at any of these projects, right? The beach, REA, the Central Park, Sabana, Larimar, Cruise on Land, Vista Cana, project in itself, Primaveros, whatever. If you get enough people complaining, then all of a sudden you're going to have a problem, even though people who stay in your place is saying, oh, this was great. But if you have a large percentage of people starting to talk about things in a certain manner, then when people go and they start reading reviews, they'll get more people talking about some issue versus talking about how great it is. And you never want that. So you have some sort of leeway. That's why you want to understand if your complex is trying to be a little upscale or a little luxury, or are they trying to be family oriented, or they just don't care. Because if they're building these condos with just a pool, that means well, it's just a condo with pools and that's it. They're not expecting any extraordinary people that's going to stay there. And there's no reason that you're going to be able to charge $350 per night. Let's just call it what it is. We want to be able to move into some place that, yeah, we can charge $125 a night right now. 2 years from now, we want that to be $200 per night. A year later, We want it to be able to be charged $250 per night. We want to be able to keep increasing our return on investment, not going the other way, not going backwards, because all of a sudden, like these guys right here at Canamar, they're going to have an issue over time. They're going to be able to raise the price because they're in Cap Cana. But over time, people, when they go to the new projects that are out at Cap Cana, and people say, hey, why am I going to stay over there when all you guys have is a pool and nothing? When right over here with a walk to the beach, yes, I'm spending an extra $30 per night or $40 per night, but I'm staying over here by Juanillo Beach. So that matters because we both have to walk to the beach or drive to the beach in the case of Canamar. So I'm just saying. But again, Victor Morel has valid points. Now, let's get to this right here. We have to figure out, this guy's on the high side, but he should be on the high side. He's not even on the low side. And he has a lot of reviews, 61 to be exact. Let's go look at this for a second. I didn't really look at it, so I'm going to bust open the separate videos. Private terrace with jacuzzi and barbecue grill, $198 in Cap Cana. Who wouldn't book this? Who wouldn't book this? Here's, I think this is Appy Beach here. I don't think that's Juanillo. And, okay, I like this. A little L-shaped lounger on the balcony. I like that. That's cool. Here's his jacuzzi up here on the terrace. Nice entryway. Okay, he's showing the terrace again with covered terrace, by the way. Simple pool, and a pool doesn't need to be. Now, here's what they have going on in Cap Cana. They have these little waterways, and you can play around. So they have their own little pools and marinas and things like that. Again, look at how it's not overly full with anything. Notice the counter in the back. He's got, looks like some knives, looks like a coffee maker. I don't see a blender. It could be in a cabinet. I don't see a toaster, but you know, blender should be blender, coffee maker, and if you want to get a toaster, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. But you definitely have to have a microwave, which I do not see a microwave. So this is very, very interesting. Oh, blender on the left side. Okay. So we have the blender. That's a good thing. All right. Now, simple. Okay, he has that there, these little round things. I'm not really a fan of these. He should have had something Cap Cana here, because that's when you walk in the door, you would see the picture and it would remind you where you're at. And it should have showed the marina or Juanillo Beach or some landmark that's there that a lot of people know about. I would have hoped that would have happened. That's the ship on here. I don't really like. You could have had a picture with the ship or something, but should have just been nothing. And here we are again with the, it looks like the butcher block. Is that it on the left? The coffee maker. I saw the blender over here. So he does have the blender, or she. And here we are. Nice seating area, can hold 6 or even 8 in this case. To have a square. That's interesting. I like that table. I like the chairs too, by the way. Very nicely done. Look at the coffee table. Very simple. Looks sturdy. And the glass, that's fine. And again, over here, no TV. Interesting. That's kind of weird. And this I'm not a big fan of either. Notice bare walls. You guys, look, don't do this. The furniture is nice. Coffee table nice. The little, okay, that little accents over here is nice. But again, you want to beat the competition. We need some big picture here to cover this wall that helps us with the area. I don't care what it is. It doesn't even have to be Cap Cana. It could be Punta Cana. It could be anything that's in the area you want to put on the walls. Look, all these bare walls. This is not acceptable. All right. He's done she has done everything great with regard to the furnishing, but the walls need more. You can't just do this. Relax. No. We need some pictures here, ladies and gentlemen. I like the sturdy furniture. I do like that. Furniture is outstanding. The bedding. I'm not a fan of this type of stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Make it look like guest. All right. Make it look like when you go to a hotel. All right. Just think of it that way. That's how you should put the bedding and put the sheets and the comforter or whatever you want to do. Make it look that way. We don't need blue sheets. All right. We don't need none of that. We don't need this also right here. This stuff. And again, another relax sign, not needed. No reason for this. This here is fine. There's a hair dryer. Once again, you have to beat the competition. Added bonus, which is the eyeglass mirror, as I call it. All right, magnifying glass for the women so they can do their, the eyelashes or face and all that. That helps. And the lighting, I'm not a big fan of this, the way they have these 2-tier mirrors, but so be it. Most people won't care that much, but at least they have a double sink and mandatory hair dryer. That's mandatory. And apparently shower is very nice, simple. Again, they're going with this blue. I'm not a big fan. And no pictures on the wall, not a big fan. In fact, I'm not really a big fan of how they decorated some of these rooms because they don't even have TVs in the rooms. This is weird, kind of weird. All right, bathroom, fine, the standard issue. That's how they built it. So there's not much more you can do. But again, these little TVs, nothing on the wall to give some ambiance in here. That's not a good thing. You need some ambiance, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it is. And this right here looks like disarray, but it is what it is. There should be some uniformity to this. Looks like a card table over here. Looks like some seating areas. This should be a little bit much more mature, looking like inviting. This right here just looks like, hey, I just showed up. Was there a party up here? Did everybody leave? What the hell's going on? Yeah, this is kind of a little bit better. This setup's a little bit better right here. It doesn't look like everything's in just disarray. All right, so that's how you want to do it, and you want to make it look like this upon people's arrivals and make it look nice. This is pretty simple buildings, as you can see. This is literally what they are calling a villa, but you can see it's either a condo or a townhome. And the pool is nothing to write home about. The views are nothing to write home about. So I would say in my assessment, after looking at the way he has this decorated, some of it's nice, some of it's not. He has the terrace. I think it's overpriced in my opinion. And here's that Lago Azul that I was referring to. People have an actual waterways that they can actually get into. Here's the marina, so people can hang out. Again, this is very nice, Appy Beach. So this is very, very nice. And this looks like, this is at Juanillo Beach, because this is where they have a place that you can order food on the beach, like a food truck, but it's not a food truck, but it is kind of. And then, of course, somebody chilling. Again, Appy Beach is, again, I didn't even see this one. Oh, that was the last picture. All right. So that is a perfect example of why his place may or may not be rented at $198. Yes, it's one of the most expensive, but it does have a terrace. It does have a bunch of things. It started out great downstairs, but overall it's incomplete. TVs are missing. Pictures on walls are missing. The way the beds are made is not how it should be made. It has to be looking a little more inviting. He does have 61 views. Oh, and by the way, here's what I'm excited about. Mr. No, sir. Here's what I'm suggesting here. Go back. Let me go back to this. This is how you beat the competition. So I'm seeing this guy right here do all this. Then I'm sitting here going, hey, he's got 61 reviews here. They're all good. They're all good. I went over this in my my webinars, I'm calling it. Appliances are new. Every bathroom, a beach towels, every hot water, great view. Highly recommend this place. This is January 2023. There's nobody saying anything bad about this, even with no TVs. Nobody's upset. Even with the way the beds are made, nobody's upset. Why they're not upset? $198. They feel they're getting more than what it's worth. 3 bedrooms, all with their own bathrooms. Another room has a twin bed with their bathroom. There's a full bathroom open in the living room area. So people are very happy when they stay there because it's convenient and the price of $198 is not overly too much for what they're getting. So this is always another way to do it. Now I'm going to got something. So now when we start building some other projects, not we, but when other projects come along in Cap Cana, the ones that are now being built that also have, well, they won't have 3.5 baths or something like that, or 5.5 baths in the 3-bedroom, but they're going to have water park features. There's a condo in Cap Cana that they actually made some sort of, I don't remember if it's a water slides or something. And then they made a children's play area. Then they made a pool. When that place comes, now all of a sudden you're competing with these other places that are closer to Juanillo Beach, and they can charge just as much as you. So now there's going to be a competition on where you're going to stay. So how are you going to beat your competition? You're going to already be able to buy something now that wasn't built then. And the new place that you're going to buy is going to be able to compete because your pool area is going to be better than theirs. Your unit may not be as good as theirs, but the location is going to be closer to where everybody wants to be, the restaurant, bars, and the beach, just for starters. So this is how you beat your competition. Now, if we already have our place built, now we have to make our furnishings and everything at least equal to theirs or better. And we have to make our unit look more appealing. So just keep that in mind. I need it to look more appealing than theirs. Now, we're going to talk about this for a long time tonight. But I want to get your happen here. Right now, for almost a little while, please make sure you're because it with the early day here, right here, and be back here in about about 47 seconds to a minute. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like 47 seconds. Let's do this one.
Come on, come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, all I can tell you is this. Now, find this I want you to understand something. Remember, this is Cap Cana. This is the 5-star. This is the spot. That's 5-star. Notice it's affordable to stay in Cap Cana at these places, $99 a night. In fact, there's no difference between staying at Cana Rock prices at their condos and condos at Cap Cana right now. Is that incredible? Because Cap Cana is upscale. But the condos themselves, are they upscale enough? But the point of the matter is there's condos available all over the place. You guys see this? This is incredible to me. Incredible. $76. Somebody can get a Connemara and they're getting a 4.67 rating. $76 per night. There you go. You guys can see this. Let me see if I have it on the screen so you guys can check it out. Check it out. Check it out. This is crazy. This is crazy. And look how it looks. Look at this. Again, not recommended to do all this crazy. The bookshelf up top, not needed. Bigger TV, needed. The plates on the wall, not needed. prefer pictures that shows the area Punta Cana, the area Dominican Republic, showing something like that to get the feel. And hey, why don't we go here? That kind of thing. The sofas, I'm not a fan. Again, the coffee table, cheap. Let's just go here, and you guys, this is the lesson of the day. So look at how the sturdy the other place at 198 looked, and look how this place for, oh wait, you guys can't see it. Look how, I'm going to show you in a second. Look how this place looks comparatively to the other one. So there we go. Right. So look at this. Comparatively speaking, much different in furnishings, much different altogether than how the other guy that's charging 198, and yes, it's a bigger unit, but they have their bed actually looking better. Their bedroom, hey, looks kind of nice. And they have a 4.67 rating, and they have $76 per night for this one bedroom that they paid like $99,000 or $110,000 for at Countermar. Ends up being nice, and a floating nightstand, even more interesting. And they have the wood there, so they got a little, well, you know, and it doesn't look bad. The nice and breezy looking, so it's not bad. But look here, pictures, please, please, please. And here, you guys see how simple this pool area is. This complex is not that big. Not a fan of this, as you guys know. I'm not a fan of that at any time. Here's what I was referring to. Look at the cheapy coffee table. They do have the throw rug, which I'm a fan of, but notice the furniture. This is not great furniture here. This is seemingly like cheapy furniture. And so, again, no fan of the bookshelf above the TV. TV needs to be bigger, seeing how big this living room is. But again, all these pictures lumped up like this, not necessary. Once again, do better than this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't do this crazy. A clock here, okay. Again, not a big fan of that. Track lighting, okay. That's what you want to do. This here, I would recommend something more like breeze. Even though you're in the tropical zone, still a fan or some sort of movement would be nice from this position for your lighting, and that gives it a little more texture in the room. So again, these are the type of things that you want to do. We got the coffee maker, we got a blender, so you got the two standbys, you got a microwave, I hope, somewhere. I don't see a microwave here. We need a microwave. Walk-in counter, and again, the chairs are fine. She didn't do these plasticky chairs. This here, let's just call it what it is. These are cheapy things right here, hollow, framed, and over time, these are going to deteriorate pretty fast. You go through a couple of summers, it starts getting a little more brittle. The fabric that's in the chairs, those are going to start ripping and tearing. So you want to get some quality stuff if you're going to leave it on the outside. And 403, it looks like they have their own little electronic locks. Bathroom, nothing can be done here. Very nicely put together by the developer. I'm not mad at them. Make sure you have plush towels. Don't go with them cheapy $2 towels. Go and get yourself the $10, $15 each towels. Make them plush, make them nice. Get the washcloth plush and nice. Do all of that. All right. Again, you guys know how this goes. You know how it goes. So when somebody stays there, they're like, oh, everything was above board. The sheets on the bed. Make sure you don't get a 300 count thread of sheets. All right. Make sure you get 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, many thread counters you can get that's affordable for you, right? But not 300 or 200, whatever. Don't do that either. And again, this is more like the bedding. I like how they made the closets. That's pretty good. They have a fan in the room, 20 annuals, 20 years. And again, here we are. They have one towel on there They know they're having either 2 or 4 people. I don't know if they're going to have 4 because they didn't have a sofa sleeper. Yep, Connemara. Like I said, I went by this place because it's in Cap Cana, but it's not on the side of Cap Cana that you can just go to the beach. This, you have to drive. It took us about 5 minutes to drive before we could get to Juanillo Beach because it's on this other section of Cap Cana that they were going to make a road so you can drive through to get to the main road. Because at the time, there wasn't a road that went through. So that's how far off it was at the time. So it would take you 5 to 10 minutes to get to Juanillo Beach, for instance. And again, this is as simple as it is. But they were supposed to have a fitness place, open air fitness area somewhere around here. All right. Now you understand why they're charging $76 per night, because it looks like it's a 1-bedroom and it's just a regular old condo. The pool doesn't get you excited. And now you have to leave to go wherever you need to go. So why would you buy at Connemara? I went to Connemara. As soon as I saw where it was and how it was situated, I was like, okay, this isn't cool. How am I going to deal with when somebody's going to be closer to the water? This is how I'm dealing with it. I got to charge $76 per night. I have to lower my price so somebody's going to stay here. And that also stops me. I have a ceiling on how much I'm going to be able to charge. And I still can't get anybody to rent from me. All right, Curtis Davis, evening at Curtis D from Wilson K, showing some love. All right, let me know what you guys are thinking. Come on, I want to hear from people. What do you think? You guys are investors. You guys, would you invest in this Connemara project, knowing all you have is a pool and the Connemara, if anything's available, a 2-bedroom is probably $300,000 by now, maybe $260,000, something like that, I would think. I don't know how much they would go for if they were available, but they were very inexpensive because of their location and where they were. All right. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's another thought process along the ways. Now I'm going to keep going. We're at 7. What are we at here? 10:56. So once again, smash those like buttons. And if you like what we're talking about, subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. If you have a comment to make, it's open. You can put it in the chat room because we want to let you know how you beat your competition. Now, everybody that's in, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Orlando right now. I'm just going to use Orlando because that's still, after all these years, it's still up and coming. They're still building properties in Orlando to deal with short-term rentals, long-term rentals. Unbelievably, even after all the infrastructure that's been built for the last 30, 40, 50 years, they are still doing something incredible. So over the last 2 years, 3 years, they started coming up with something different. They came up with, forget a normal 2 or 3 bedroom condo, villa, townhouse. We're going to make 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom, 7-bedroom homes. So when people come from out of town in large groups, they're going to stay at our place, which kind of makes sense because generally it's when you have a family reunion, capital of the world type of situation, when you have businesses that have their conventions and meetings here, and you have 8, 9, 10 people, and all you have to do is say, you don't have to get 10 separate hotel rooms. All you have to do is say, hey, we're staying at this place that has 7 bedrooms. Everybody has their own room, and we're willing to pay $600 or $700 per night, whatever they charge. That's what they're making now in Orlando for the last 3 years. These over-the-top 7-bedroom, 6-bedroom, 5-bedroom places, and it's incredible. Upstairs, downstairs, game rooms, all kind of space so you can put in any type of amenities that you want within your building. And then, of course, you have pools. So now people are saying, well, I'm not going to stay over here at Wyndham, right? I'm not going to stay at Sheridan when we have to get 3 or 4 rooms. I can just go here and we all stay under one roof. And there's a place in Orlando that has like a bowling alley and all kind of stuff. It's world famous that people spend like thousands of dollars per night to stay there. And it's like a little playground within their villa. It's crazy. So here we go. Victor Morero, the one thing that worries me about Cap Cana is the HOA fees. Victor Morero, you rest assured that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a big time problem. The reason why I say this is because Cap Cana is what I always fear the most. It's not really open to the general public. So in other words, in order to get inside Cap Cana, you have to be staying there. You have to be a visitor, but the visitor has no, you have to be a guest and the owner has to know you're coming. It's not like it's open air. Like if I go to downtown Punta Cana, nobody's stopping you. You try to go to Cap Cana, they're stopping you at the gate going, what are you doing? What are you here for? So if you're not there for some reason, then you're like, you can't come in. So that's the problem that I always have. And if you have a closed, it's semi-closed because they have hotels so people can walk around. But the upkeep of everything is going to be on mostly on the owners. That's the whole reason why I have issues when somebody says you're going to keep it closed. So if any project says, well, we don't have amenities in here for other people from the outside to come in, I don't never like that. So that's why when Vista Cana was talking about, well, we're not going to, you're going to have to leave your ID at the gate and you can't come in here unless you're in there early on. Then they finally changed it and saw the light because they're like, wait a minute, all our homeowners are going to have to pay for all these services because we don't have anybody coming in here. Now that they're having a fishing club where people can come from the outside, they show their fishing club. I'm coming in, they can go there. Equestrian club. Now people are going to be going there. The sports complex club or whatever that is, they're going to have people coming there. So now you have citizens from outside of the ecosystem coming in to pay tax money, meaning when they buy something, there's taxes. That also means some of the profits from those businesses go back into Vista Cana's coffers. So now that can help maintain the filtration system that water has to be filtered for 24/7. So all of a sudden now homeowners aren't brunting. They don't carry the burden. That's what I'm worried about as far as Cap Cana. That's exactly what I'm worried about. I agree with this 110%. And the reason why Victor Marrero says this is because he's from Florida. He knows what happens when you have these closed living areas. There's a place in fact, we went over this like 3 years ago, I think it was. There was a place in Fort Lauderdale. They had condos that they were selling for $30,000, $40,000 in a golf course country club environment in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Why were they that inexpensive? Because their HOAs were $1,500 per month. That's right. You heard me. $1,500 per month. So people were like, I'll sell my condo for 75 grand. I'll sell my condo for 60 grand. They were like, I want out because I'm paying $1,500 a month in HOAs. There's a country club there with tennis courts, pools, restaurant, fitness center, all kind of stuff. But it was $1,500 per month. And people were like, sayonara, give me some money so I can get out of here. I don't even care if I take an L. Because they couldn't, $1,500 a month, you could live on the outside. And what you're getting in here, you could actually get anyhow and pay $1,500 a month just to buy a house. Never mind at, when rates were like 2.5, 2.7. I mean, you could buy a house. So why live in a HOA that's going to cost you $1,500 plus you still have to pay your mortgage for where you live? That was crazy. That was insane. It still is insane. And in Orlando, they have that situation as well. All throughout Florida, they have that situation. It's like they don't have any caps. They don't care. And some people are paying even more than $1,500 a month in certain areas. It's incredible. So the reason why you're not open to the public. And then what starts happening when owners stop paying, the other owners have to bear the brunt of the cost. And now what's going to happen? You have problems. So that's what's going to happen right there. And I agree with you. That's one of the little nuances. But the thing is, they do have the 5-star hotels. They do have other ways that they generate some sort of sales revenue. And there's ways they can do it. The boat slips, but it's still dicey. It's still dicey in the long run. HOA fees are going to keep rising. It's a happening. Seeing people being put through some questioning when they want to use their cash out of their account. You want to buy a car, bank want you to prove it, and that is your money. Exactly, Wilson Koo. This is what's going down. It's going down like that. This is the era that we live in. But once again, if you're watching this, ladies and gentlemen, just remember, when you put your money in a bank, you've already signed off that it's not your money. That's in the fine print when you open up your account. The money is the bank's. You've signed it away when originally opened the account. So that's why when you're taking the money out, they sit there and start asking you, oh, so you want $25,000. What do you want it for? And you're like, what are you asking me for? They're like, well, because we're just making sure that nobody's out here trying to scam you or something. And you're like, okay, that's my problem. It's my money. But see, in their head, it's like, it's our money. If somebody scams you, it ain't coming back. That's what they're you got to understand. They're thinking it's our money. It's not your money. We're loaning it back to you in essence. That's all we're doing. And since we're holding your money, we can ask you any question and we can deem that we're not going to give it to you. They can say, we're not going to give it to you. Wendy Williams, anybody? We're not giving you your money. We're keeping it. All right. And you guys know my stories. Wells Fargo and Bank of America have stolen my money before. Literally, blatantly. So I'm like, I don't trust a bank as far as I can walk through their door. All right. So a U.S. bank's on that list as well. All right. So I never told you guys about the U.S. bank scenario, but when you talk about banks, I'm like, U.S. bank, free checking account, free savings account. I put money in U.S. bank. I don't know what it was, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it was. And because I didn't use U.S. bank as a main bank. It was just, I just put money over there. It was giving me like 6%, 7% interest, whatever. So I was like, I just basically just forgot all about it, quite frankly. And then one day I get a letter in the mail and it said something like, your account's overdrawn. And I was like, I thought it was some sort of scam letter that somebody was putting in that, call US Bank or call this number. You call the number and then they start making you jump through hoops. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is. I'm not overdrawn. What are they talking about? I've never even taken any money out. I call them up. I call the bank directly and I said, hey, I got this letter in the mail, but I think it's somebody trying to scam me. And then can you check my account? And they're like, what's your account number? I don't even know my account number. They look it up. They find my account. They go, oh, yes, Mr. Bird, you're overdrawn by $265 or $300. I can't remember, some numbers like that. I go, what are you talking about? I have a free checking account, free savings account, and I put in like $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, whatever it was. So what are you talking about? She goes, oh, no. Actually, that was just promotional. So all this time, there's been no activity on your account. So we've been taking money out of your account. That was the first thing she says. I go, what are you talking about? Inactivity. What? I'm leaving my money in a bank. What do I need activity for? They're like, we tried to contact you. I'm like, contact me for what? I left my money in here. I didn't need it. They're like, oh, but every month also now you have a fee. I'm like, what's the fee? They're like, oh, it's $10 a month. I'm like, wait a minute. I've had this for like 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. They're like, I said $10 a month times 20, 30 months. I was like, this is like $300, $400. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh man, I went off again. And I was like, I just couldn't believe what they were saying. I was in disbelief. And then they started saying, well, when your account got down to whatever in your checking or savings, then you had a double fees I was like, are you serious? And I thought for sure when I went in and talked to them that they were going to give me my money back, right? for some dumb reason. I was like, this is crazy. So yeah, that's US Bank. So that's why I'm against those guys too. It's crazy. All right. Junito, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Some banks in California are starting to get used to saying we don't have enough cash to disperse when asking to withdraw over 10K, referring you to another location 20 plus miles away. Junito, they've been doing that for years. They tell you we don't have the money, come back in 3 days, make an appointment. They've been doing that for years, the last 4, 5, 6 years. If you go in trying to get 15K, they're like, first of all, you're right. They'll say they don't have it. And second of all, either you can go to another branch like you're referring to, or they'll say, you got to make an appointment, come back in 3 or 4 days. Now, the reason why now they're saying location 20 miles away, and if you live in California, they started closing down branches where there used to be a branch like every 2 miles or every 3 miles, 4 miles apart. Now all of a sudden they closed them all down and the next branch is like 7 miles away. They started doing that also in California. It's crazy. He's exactly right, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you don't keep money in the bank, as far as I'm concerned. Duffel bag of cash works well. All right. I get a little upset. Quite frankly, I have PTSD. If I put any large sums of money in a bank, I'm automatically trying to get it out. If I have to do a check, do anything, I'm sitting there like, when that thing available, because I'm taking it out as soon as it's available. That's what I do now. I have PTSD because 3 banks have literally just stolen money and you have no repercussions. You can't do a damn thing about it. It's crazy. That's an amazing story. They were sucking you dry. That's theft. Exactly. You have to make sure there's no minimums. Plus, that's going to get worse as banks get in trouble. Exactly, Victor Morel. It was US Bank. And that's the beauty of it. This thing was so crazy. Signed paperwork. I come back in with my paperwork because I have everything in a file. And I'm like, look, free checking, free savings. And in fact, I get like 6, 7%. What is the problem here? How do I have zero money? And by the way, this is what I put in there. So what's the problem here? How do I not have no withdrawals and I'm negative? I was just like, this is BS. And of course, they were quick when I'm in the branch. Do I have to call security? I was like, are you serious? I'm asking about my money being stolen by the bank. And now you got nerve to go, do I got to call security? That was crazy stuff. So needless to say, yes, they got my money, stole it. Then they had nerve to go, oh, we're just going to make your account zero. I was like, you got to be, are you insulting me right now? I was like, you know what? It's a good thing I'm not as young anymore because I would slap you. I'm like, this is craziness. Oh yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. So US Bank also is on my F list, by the way. So it doesn't matter if they're too big to fail. It doesn't matter if it's a regional. It does not matter. They all work the same. You don't know what's going to happen from time to time, year to year, what's going to go down. All right. Because you guys don't forget, this didn't happen to me, but don't forget what Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and all these guys have been doing over the years, opening up people's accounts under their name and they didn't even know about it, taking money and moving it. All this stuff has gone down. And who gets in trouble for this? Hardly anybody. Hardly anybody. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I've been through it all with the banking system. So you guys can rest assured, like I say, I have PTSD. If there's any money in the accounts, I'm just like, I don't even care if it's 1,000. I'm just like, nah, I'll hold it. I'm holding it. It's not even, I need it in there for that. If I have extra coming in, I'm like, I need it. I need it. Because if they say something crazy like, oh, you got to come back in 3 or 4 days, I want to make sure it's that 3 or 4 days, that clock is ticking. I don't want to sit there and go down when I need it. And then they're like, oh, we can't give it to you for another 5 days. Nope. I'm taking it out, period. I don't even care. In fact, I don't even care. I'll go overdraft before I'm leaving money in the bank. I don't even care. It's staying with me. Because when your money's sitting in these guys' pockets, and you don't know what's going to happen. Like right now, there's a lot of people that's kind of nervous, and you have every right to be nervous about banking situations, because what you don't really know is while the government can sit there and say, hey, you're safe and sound. You're not even safe and sound under a normal, regular banking environment. There are millions of people. It's not like 50 million or 100 million people that this is happening to, but it's happening to 1 million people here, 500,000 people there. It's not big enough to where all of a sudden you're going to have, you know, a whole bunch of people talking about their money being stolen by banks. All it is just stories that people will tell you. They'll say, hey, this happened to me. And it's not enough people at the same time, but it's been happening for 50 years. All right. You guys got to understand this. This isn't something new. They've been doing this a long time. All right. This isn't even in the 2000 eras that I'm talking about. The US Bank did this, and Wells Fargo and Bank of America. This is before 2000. So they were doing this in the 80s, the 90s, and probably in the 70s. All this whole time they've been doing it. So that's the whole thing right there. Go with online banks. Exactly, Victor Morrell. They have much higher interest rates, and this is coming from someone that works for a bank. Wealthfront interest rates increased to 4.3% today. Thank you so much for that update. 4.3% at Wealthfront. And by the way, do I have the Wealthfront link down below? They manage money as well, not just savings accounts, but you can put your money in there. They manage it $500 or more. They do it for free. That's a bargain right there. Everybody should be with Wealthfront. If there's a link down below, go check it out. Junie 2. The truth is we rely on banks to tell us how much money we have with them. Not a lot of people save every deposit receipt they get from them. We need to be our own accountant. Exactly, Junie 2. And unfortunately, you can be your own accountant, but they're holding your money. Like I said, you haven't been around maybe before, but Wells Fargo, Bank of America, again, I can't remember which one it was, but anyhow, I opened an account in Sacramento and I put in like $2,000. It was a business account. So they give me my receipt. I go back to my office. I don't do anything. I go write a check like a week or so later for like $50 or something. Minimal. About a week later, 10 days later, I get a letter in the mail at the office and it says your check bounced. I was like, how's this possible? I have like $2,000 in there at least. So why would this bounce? So now I go down there to the bank. The bank starts going, Eric, you have no money in the bank. I go, I haven't written a check. Here's my checkbook. This is the only check I've written. I haven't withdrawn anything. What are you talking about? They go, oh, we got to look into this. I said, yeah, I'll wait. So now they look into it. They come back. They say, hey, Eric, do you live in Woodland? I said, no, you guys know my address. What are you talking about Woodland for? And I don't go to Woodland. That's like 45 miles away from here, 35, 45 miles away from South Sacramento, where my office is and where you guys, I opened up the bank. So why would I be in Woodland taking money out? I don't understand. They're like, oh, but see, you and another guy opened a bank account and apparently at the same time, and both of you have the same bank account number. I said, good try, good story, whatever. I couldn't believe it. I'm sitting there like waiting for a punchline like, oh, we're kidding. I'm just like, what are you saying exactly? My check bounced. The money's gone. Clearly, I didn't go to Woodland to withdraw money when my office is less than 100 yards away from here. And what would I be doing withdrawing money in Woodland? This makes zero sense. I don't do business in Woodland, period. So you expect to say I went to Woodland to withdraw money when my office is literally 100 yards away? Why would it? That doesn't even make sense. It's a business account. Because back then, we didn't have debit cards for your business. So I was just like, what are you talking about? This is crazy. So they determined that I and the other guy, one of us took out the money and they're not going to do anything about it. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, it's kind of clear he's not at the Bank of America asking, or Wells Fargo. He's not at the bank asking where the money is. I am. That ought to tell you something's wrong. I was like, of course, the guy that took the money that isn't his, he's not coming to the bank to say a damn thing. He's just looking at his account like, hey, I got an extra few $1,000s in my account. What the hell? I'll just take this out. In fact, I'm just going to take it all out. because I only had $50 in here. And now you guys are looking at me like I'm the bad guy. Security, get them out of here. We're going to have to call the police. And meanwhile, I lost that 2 G's at the Bank of America, Wells Fargo. All that went down, man. All that. That's in the 80s, by the way. So with receipt in hand, with documentation showing I only did one, here's my checks. I only wrote one check. So clearly I couldn't have taken the money and that check bounced. So what are you talking about here? Oh, you went into the branch in Woodland possibly and took the money. Dude, it's really driving 45 minutes, passing all the banks and go to Woodland and do what? I was like, this is insanity. This is crazy. Clearly, the guy in Woodland that opened the account took all the money. I need it reimbursed. They would not do anything about it. Too bad, so sad. And more security, more, I was younger then too. More security, more police showing up. It was pretty crazy. I felt like John Q at the hospital. If you guys ever saw that movie. All right. Let's get into it some more. How to beat your competition in short-term rentals, real estate strategy 101, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep talking about it. All right. Now, bottom line to the story is when you're privy to new information. So what I mean by that is, so right now I used an example in Orlando. They have, for instance, Margaritaville. That's a great place to get real estate because their rental rate there that they have is very high. So the odds of you being able to get like 80%, 75 to 80% is pretty good. But instead of paying $250,000, you might have to pay $700,000 or $800,000 now, maybe even $1 million, because people realize you could make $100,000 per year if you have a cottage there. That equals $1 million property. So see, sometimes you have to be in early to get in at the right price because now $1 million is a different story. Sure, you're going to make your $100,000 a year potentially, but that entry point is not for everybody. You know how much you have to make, like $300,000, $350,000 a year to buy that, and you're going to have to put down 200. Well, I don't know if you do have to put down 20% or not, but all I'm saying is you're going to have to do some hefty lifting. It's a lot easier to buy it at $200,000, $300,000, $350,000 than it is to do $1 million. So this is what we're talking about when you have a situation like in Punta Cana, when you know that there's going to be more people moving into that area, more things are going to be built to bring in tourism. That's how you're going to be able to beat your competition because you know that now. So when a cruise on land, a Larimar, and a Vista Cana comes along and you don't see any other project on the horizon that's going to be even close to what they're doing, you have to start looking at the numbers. So then when you go over and look and you say, hey, wait a minute, these guys have a 2-bedroom penthouse and it's $167,000 like on Cruise on Land. You say, hey, the penthouse at Larimar is pricey, $300,000. But is it really pricey if it's 2,000 square feet and their terrace is 1,000 square feet? Is that pricey? I don't think so. 2,000 square feet, that's less than $200 a square meter. That puts it below the $200 per square meter price. That puts it somewhere around 150 square meters, which is reasonable. That's a reasonable price for $150 a square meter for a build. 300, 308,000, 305,000. The one that faces the water, though, is 354,000. So that starts getting up there. But still, it's under the 200 square meters. So that actually is a bargain. Now, let's get real. 2,000 square foot penthouse is pretty huge. And an 888 square meter terrace, that's awesome as well. That's incredible. That's basically 960, 980 square meters. That's 1,000 square feet. That's crazy. a terrace, 1,000 square feet. You can do anything up there. So these are the type of things where you have to look and say, hey, in this complex at this time, I'm able to beat everybody around there because nobody can say what I can say. Nobody can say I have man-made beaches. Nobody can say I have water parks. Nobody can say I have a bunch of pools, man-made beaches, man-made lakes, man-made pools, shopping, amphitheaters, casinos. Nobody can say this. So even though they have it, the prices are still not too high. The prices are still low, under 200. And let's put it this way. You guys know my target market, target audience for buying real estate in Punta Cana, $250,000 or less. You can get the baddest unit at Cruise on Land right now until April 1st, $256,000, $267,000. Those are the best units. They're penthouse units with lock-offs and some addition. You can have a lock-off, and there are 3 or 4 bedrooms, fully furnished price. That's right. That's it. You're all in, fully furnished, sleeping 8, 10 people. That right there, with all the amenities that you get, is a bargain. The thing is, at Larimar, their 2 bedrooms right now you can get for $118,900 in Tower 4. In Tower 1, it's going to cost you $137, depending on what floor, $135, $134, but the prices are going to go up. Next week, Cruise on Land goes up, whether it's $5,000, $3,000, $8,000, who knows. But all I'm saying is the price points are still off the charts, and how you're going to beat your competition there is because you have more amenities than anybody else. In order for somebody else to market their place better than you, the only downfall that you're going to have is when you do something crazy like don't furnish your place like it should look. So people look at your place and go, okay, it just looks like an ordinary spot. I don't really want to pay the $150 or $200 per night because it's not really worth it. I'll just pay $109, $110, $115 and stay by the beach in the condo that's nice as well. What's the difference? No, you have to market all the extra amenities that you have. So anybody that has extra amenities, even people at the beach who has the lagoon, they just have a lagoon, right? A lagoon, a volleyball court. I mean, there's nothing that they're really going to have, that it seems now. So that's how you have to market it, though. You would have to say, we have this lagoon. Look here, this nice blue crystal clear water. It's awesome. Okay. We have a bar out here and a cafe, maybe. I don't know what they're actually going to do ultimately. But you have to use that to your advantage. But you're going to be behind the 8 ball because at one time, the beach was the only one that had this crystal lagoon. Now, frickin' Primavera 4 has one. Now, Vista Cana has their own man-made beaches, 2 of them now, 3 lakes altogether. Now you have Larimar and Cruise on Land coming with more amenities. And then somebody's going to go, yeah, but I'm downtown. And then now the competition says, so what if you're downtown? You have to leave, go downtown. And what's downtown? There's only shopping. There's only restaurants. There's bars. Well, there's shopping, restaurant, and bars at a lot of places. They're also going to be on Cruise on Land. They're also going to be on Larimar. They're also going to be on Vista Cana. They're also at Cana Rock. So, and we still got the real beach. So you don't have a competitive advantage no longer, even though that place looks awesome, even though the value of the condos are going to go up. But how much are you going to be able to rent them for when Aurora Luxury is right up the street from you when you're turning in to come to the beach? Aurora Luxury is right there. Aurora Luxury has their own in-house movie theater. They have their own restaurant and bars. They have their own pools, multiple pools. They have a children's pool, water park area. They have all kind of stuff that you don't have. And yeah, it might not look as nice, but they got all this stuff. They got a mini mart right here. I'm like, they got a lot of stuff in there, and it only costs $167 for a 2-bedroom fully furnished. I don't know if that's still the price though, but that's how much it was costing. So, and it's a similar size unit. They just don't have a lagoon, but they have beaches. They have water everywhere. They have their pools in the middle of their complex is a pool, long length pool, children's water park, all kind of crazy. So this is what I'm talking about. Now people can stay there and they're like, well, we're downtown too. So you don't have a real competitive advantage that you once had originally in 2018, 2019, because now the new guys are coming out going, we have to beat what already exists because we're not downtown. We're 15 minutes away from downtown. So in order for people to come out here, we have to do this. So they're acting accordingly. You have to create more amenities so you can compare yourself and beat your competition. So you have somebody saying, look at what's out there. It's worth the extra 10 to 15 minute drive. All right. So here we go. You go to withdraw your own money and find out that it's you that owe them money. Exactly. This is insane. What's left? For them to offer you a loan for $2K at 8.5% interest. God bless America. That's it. Exactly. No, there was nothing left. It was going to jail. That was left. They were like security. And I'm still there. F security. I was like, and remember, I was a pretty big boy at the time too. You know, I probably had on like another 20 to 25 pounds of muscle pack. And so I was like, no, I was like, this isn't going down. And much younger, hot-headed. And I was like, no. So then I was even trying to get the name of this person. I was going to be showing up at their house. I was like, nah, man, you better give me my money back if the bank ain't. I'm like, you got to have to do something. They were like, oh, no, we can't let this guy. He's a bad guy. Yeah, I was a pretty bad guy. I have to admit, I got to say it like it is. Let's just say, you know, when you do stuff, when you can call up somebody, because that's basically what was going to happen. I would have found out who this guy was. It was going to be making phone calls, and there was going to be some visits. It was going to be crazy. And the banking people, everybody was in jeopardy at that point. I was like, you guys, man, it was 2 G's, but let's call it in the 80s, 2 G's is probably worth, I wouldn't even know, maybe 10 G's right now, maybe 8 G's, 8 to 10 G's is probably what 2 G's is worth in the 80s compared to now, probably something like that. When you start talking about 20, 22 to 10, 20, 100, yeah, easily 6K. So it had to be around 8 to 10K is what I would think. So you put 8 to 10K in your bank account, and then a month later, they're telling you your money's gone, and you took it out, and you're like, here's my checkbook. I wrote one check. It came back and it bounced. What do you mean? So I'm like, what are you talking? This is crazy. Give me my money. It's crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap it. I think that's all there is to it. There's not much more I can discuss about the competition. The competition is based on you. If you're going to buy something at Selene 5, in fact, I did this tonight too. I'm going to show you Selene 5. There's a member of SSN Nation that actually bought Selene 5. This is out by Cocatel. Off the freeway, though, not when you drive down to Los Corrales. It's off the freeway by Cocatel. And I can't remember what the guy bought it for, but I believe it was 70 grand, 90 grand, 100 grand. It wasn't that expensive because Selene 5, all they have is, let me see if I can get it. That's weird. If 5 pools, child's play area, and they could have a fitness room, but I don't think that's what it was. I don't know what the room was. That's all I remember. It looks like Christopher somewhat. But I want to show this because this right here is important, that you want to beat the competition doesn't mean you have to have more pools. Doesn't mean you have to have more amenities sometimes. If you're able to buy something at 70,000, 80,000, 90,000, and it ends up being a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit, and you can do this right here. This is how you can beat your competition on the lower end. So you're already good to go with your Larimar contract. Yes, it's in stone, my man, Victor Morel. Well, actually, I haven't gotten it back yet. So you guys know how we do this, right? They haven't, we only did the reserve right now. You guys know how I do it. So when I get the contract and it's official, then I'll show you guys what it looks like so people don't feel intimidated. Some people feel intimidated by contracts. So you can see that it's nothing special. It's just like an ordinary piece of paper contract, and you'll see. But no, contract hasn't been issued because we got a 30-day preparation time and all that. So it hasn't happened. But it's, yeah, Unit 1101, man. Ocean view. Up front. Overlooking the boardwalk, horizon, you get ocean view. It's going to be awesome. So here's what Celine 5 looks like. A 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and look at how this person decorated. I am not mad at them. This is great work right here. And they're only charging, look at this, $70 a night. Look at this, $325. This is prime time. 113 reviews, ladies and gentlemen. Is that incredible? Celine 5 had to come out only in the last 8-9 months. So for them to have 113 reviews in like 8 or 9 months, that's a lot of renting. And I want to just show the unit itself, because this right here is how you get competitive advantage. Look at this. You see how, like, the way it looks, it doesn't look like it's upscale a lot, but it doesn't look downsized, downscaled either. This looks like a nice, comfortable, cozy place. The color scheme, the light bluish color on the walls, the grayish colors, the neutral coloring. Notice the frame here. This is beautiful work right here, ladies and gentlemen. Notice the coffee table, although I would say remove some of this garbage, but nonetheless, notice they're trying to tie in the brown with the brown here. Beautiful work. Notice that these appear to be just what I was referring to before. You can easily see this is a sofa sleeper bed. You can see this is some sort of stain guarded type of materials. Again, I recommend that versus getting some sort of a pleather or leather or whatever kind of nylons. Get this type where it's easily cleanable, easy to maintain, easy to replace. If it's chopped up, cut up, you can replace it. And another neutral, whitish, off-white love seat. I love this fan. Didn't have to be exceptionally beautiful fan, but this is nice because it's nice. It's nice. Look at the sheer, the white with the blue. So everything is color coded. It matches beautifully with the hint of the green in the corner. And that, again, this is beautiful work right here. I highly recommend this type of interior. Highly recommend it. At the least you can do. This is not that expensive, what he's doing or he or she's doing. Now, here's the amenities. Look at this. Here's the child's play area. I don't know what this building is, though. I don't remember. These are 2 pools, and this was like a little cabana thing, as I recall. Now, this is their pool. This is their pool area. This is it. This is their only amenity area here. That's why this is hysterical. Now, look at the rest of the place. I did notice something very interesting. If that's a TV, that's a no-go zone. I don't know why you would have a little baby TV, but that's weird. The seating area, the cheapy chairs. Okay, not a big fan. Not a big fan. And then this looks like some sort of it reclines or goes up. So I don't know what that's going to do. All right, the floating. Here goes the big TV. Okay, that's good. I like that better. All right, I don't know what this door is, but maybe we'll find out. All right, look, a simple walk path through to the bedroom. I like it. This here, I'm not a big fan of this type of dining table, but it's $70 a night. You don't have to do anything crazy on $70 a night, right? It's not like he's going to charge $125 or $150 a night. Time maybe not ready for that, but this is sufficient for a $70 a night place. Look at these furnishings that were built in, and they have it right on time. Your coffee maker, blender. Call it a wrap. You don't have a toaster, fine. You got to have a microwave, though. The lighting here, not a big fan, but it is what it is. Okay. And again, I would rather see some pictures on walls to remind me of where I'm at. They need 2 on each side. The fan is fine. Again, oh, there's the little baby microwave. So that's cool. So, and they also have something else here that I always look at when I'm buying a condo. See how they have their stove, oven in the middle of their counter? Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. They have places that are being built where they have their stove over here next to a wall. Now, I've had condos in the past that have caught fire. Why? Because the stove ovens are next to walls. All right. Just keep that in mind when you're out here buying condos. Always try to buy one that has it in the middle. All right. Because the side walls, they usually don't put any coating around. And that's one of the problems that you have to watch out for. If you're getting a condo and your stove and oven are up against a wall, make sure that they have some sort of flame retardant beyond what they normally put on the wall. It just can't be the plaster. All right. It has to be more than that. A lot more than that. And also watch for your air hood and all that as well. If make sure there's an out. Now, I like how they have this. This is less than $100,000 unit. All right. Not a big fan of putting beds by underneath windows. I'm not a big fan of how this room is decorated. This is all bad. All bad. Cheapy stuff for nightstands. Putting some plant looking likes in the room. This is all bad. All right. Not good. I do like the built-in closet though. That's pretty sweet. But that other crap, all bad. This is all bad. Probably opt to put this on this wall since it's solid. Let the window, so now you can open up the windows. Let that flow a different way. Seeing out is also okay. And I'd put pictures on the wall over here on the right-hand side. They're charging $70 a night. People are happy with this. No ambiance whatsoever in this bedroom. This is crazy. No ceiling fan as well. Needs a ceiling fan. Bathroom, there's not really much to say. This is how it was built. I'm not fans of just mirrors that look like this. Not a big fan of that. Again, can do something a little different. They have white doors. Interesting. Hair dryer, mandatory. Good job. And this is it. That's it. Simple. $70 a night. $113. Look at this. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And people are booking this. This is by Cocotel, across the highway from Cocotel. Here's the other bedroom. Again, lined up against the window. I'm not a big fan of that scenario. This must be the living room a different way. Okay. Don't need all this stuff on the table. You guys know that. But it looks nice for aesthetic purpose. The living room looks nice. It looks like you're into something special. The rest, the other bedrooms, they chimped on the bedrooms. But the living room area and the dining room area looks decent. $70 a night, nobody's going to bitch. Even with the bedrooms being jacked. Because they're in Punta Cana. Off the freeway. Right by Outback. Right by... trying to think there's other restaurants, but they're not right by. They're like a mile away. But this is Celine 5. And this person is renting, and clearly nobody lives here. But they're renting right now. 113 reviews right now. This is insane, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Look at this. This is crazy. Okay. Nice looking at pool at night. Speed for the internet, a must. Okay, this right here, I'm not a fan. Might as well put a nice table or something there. I'm going to stop it here, probably B1. He has the white door. There's the entryway. This is where it is, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing special. Nothing special at all. It's just a condo project. Under $100,000 is what this costs. But they have everything. They have security. They have intercom systems. I don't know what the lockbox is, and I don't know what this is here. If that's in the unit or if it's separate, but okay. Jumbo Market's about a mile away, I believe. So anyhow, $70 per night. They're getting a ton. She's getting a ton. All right. And I'm going to let you guys see something. Look at this. Almost 5.0 often. March. Very nice. Easy to find. Excellent place, really clean, had everything it needed, bigger than the pictures. Esmarlin Place was beautiful, equipped with all necessities. This puts a big smile on my face because they're getting $70 per night. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. They have no amenities other than 2 pools and a kids' playground area for the whole complex. And this is the reviews people are leaving. You are very flexible, accommodating. Amazing apartments for family. I only need to stay for a night. There was no problem. Great place. Apartment was spotless. That's one of the other things that be ahead of your competition. Apartment is spotless. Make sure that's number one on your list, quite frankly. Clean, clean, clean needs to be number one on your list for the apartment all the time. That is mandatory. AC was super cold. See, again, there's nothing to talk about here because there's no amenities. There's nothing that they can say it's walking distance. And I used this in the video earlier today, a quick drive to downtown. Okay, quick drive, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay, probably 10 minutes. But if you didn't have a rental car, how are you getting downtown? You're going to have to pay extra to go downtown, and you're going to need a rental car, so you're paying extra. So people are going to have a rental car or have to pay for Uber the whole time they're staying there. So why wouldn't you just pick a place that costs $30 more per night? That way you don't have to spend any money to get a rental car or drive downtown. So now you stay $100 a night and you stay downtown Punta Cana, and now you just walk around. So these are the things you have to think about. Then when you have new complexes come out, Larimar, Cruise on Land, I believe Vista Cana is going to do this, but Larimar and Cruise on Land have transportation. They plan on having shuttles from their places to come to downtown, come to the airport. Now, Larimar, I don't know. Larimar, we were talking, Gennaro was on. I think they were talking about going to the airport. Cruise on Land, airport, downtown, beach club. That's where they're going with their shuttle services. So nobody needs a car. You just land at the airport. I'm here. They come get you. You're good. You want to go downtown, Coco Bongo, they take you. You're good. You want to go to a beach club, an actual beach club, even though you guys have a beach, fine. You're good. Now, when you stay in the cheaper places, how much is it really worth? If speaking of competition, are you going to stay at, if somebody told you, here's a 2-bedroom for $110 a night and you can stay at Cruise on Land, are you going to stay on Cruise on Land or are you going to stay at Celine 5, where you have free transportation? And you have not only more pools, more man-made beach, a sports complex, a kids area, I mean, and restaurant and bars and nightclub, I mean, and a water park. I mean, how are you going to, you're not going to pay an extra 30, 40 bucks to stay at Cruise on Land? They already put the prices down like it was only going to be 110 a night, 120 a night. Let's call it $50 more. You have a party of 4. So now you and everybody in your party are going to a water park, water slides, no additional costs. That would cost you if you had to go anywhere else in Punta Cana. You're going over to the basketball courts, the soccer field, the tennis courts, the pickleball courts, whatever, the racquetball courts. You're walking around and being able to eat on the boardwalk. You're walking around because they have restaurants and bars here. Your kids like to do music, so you're going to go over and check out the recording studio. You want to go to the nightclub at night because they have a nightclub. This is what I'm talking about. Is it worth paying? Why are you going to pay $70 a night when you can pay $120 a night and get all this extra feature that you now have to pay extra money for, that you're actually going to pay way more because you're going to have to drive to go everywhere and then come back home next day. If you want to go somewhere to go do something, you got to drive or call Uber or call some sort of transportation services. So keep this in mind. That's how you're going to beat the competition. This is how, when the bigger things come out, people are going to start rationalizing, going, wait a minute, this is extra 50 bucks. And then when you say there's a water park and you can go every day and it's all 4 of you included, and they know water parks all over Punta Cana cost like $100 per person, people are going to take that into consideration. Then you add in the other things, they're going to go, Of course, I'm going to pay an extra $50 a night if all 4 of us can go into all these places. We don't have to pay extra. And then if they charge for transportation, we don't know. But if they don't, but I just want to give you guys an idea to let you know this is how ultimately this $70 a night, even though they're doing a lot of rentals, they probably still will do a lot of rentals because we're going to be charging more money at our location. So we're going to be saying, okay, we have all this stuff. It's going to be 130, 140, 150. You don't know what it could be. They're going to go, okay, down here's $70. I'm only going to pay, what is that? $522 before taxes for the week. And instead, you guys want me to pay $1,000. I'm going to pay twice as much. And to that person, I say, go ahead, go stay at Celine 5. That's what you want to do. Stay there. But everybody that's staying at my place, I say, congratulations, because you don't have to pay for anything else, nor do you have to leave for transportation services, nor do you have to rent a car. So all that money that you have to put out trying to get back and forth to do what you want to do while you're there, that's nullified. And you have extra amenities that nobody else has. So you win all the way around. You end up paying the same amount because you're still going to spend $500 while you're there for the week in transportation alone, probably $20 each way. That's $40. How many times are you going? Once a day? That's already like $200 for the week. So now you're up to 700 and something, 722. Now, if you want to go do anything, you're saying, okay, I want to go to the Caribbean Lake Park. That's $500. And you could have just stayed at Cruise on Land and it's all included. And you would have still paid the $1,000. Now you're paying more than $1,000. All I'm saying, you got to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you're going to beat the competition. All right. So there you go. Yep. Fake inactivity fees from the bank. Exactly. They got tricks, ladies and gentlemen. The owner probably has interior decoration background or hired one. That's simple, clean and beautiful colors. Taking note of that. Exactly. But it isn't the colors, in my opinion, is the bed covers. Yeah, exactly. After you got out of the living room area and the dining room area, I don't know what happened in the bedroom. It was like, holy smokes, what's going on around here? What are you guys doing? You had it looking so nice and pristine and calm and cool. Now all of a sudden you got this kind of weird kaleidoscope vibe. I agree with you. But again, $70 a night, I'm not really upset, but I'm just saying there's something for everybody. And how you market it, that's how you beat your competition. And that's why people are going to stay at your place. Again, when somebody's staying somewhere, I'll use Victor Morell's in Orlando. I'm going to use something else. Okay, so at Westgate Town Center, all right? In fact, I've talked about Westgate Town Center before. Let me just pull it up. So I'll show you guys what's happening, right? So here's a Westgate Town Center. I'm going to put this on the screen here. Let's see if I can pull it up. So I want to show you, this is in Orlando, and they have a water park. Now, keep in mind, water parks used to be a thing in Orlando. They used to have like 3 or 4 different water parks that had these big, huge slides, and it was specifically dedicated to water parks. Now, since over the years, they've kind of shut down, but there's reasons why they kind of shut down. All right. There's reasons for this. Let me go see if I can get some pictures here. And it's because of things like this. This is Westgate Town Center, and their lobby is awesome. Okay. But the rooms are nice. Look, this is nice and clean. All right. It's nothing. But look, they have a water park. So now people are going to Disney. Generally, they go to, Disney, first of all, a family of 4 is going to spend $500 just to get in Disney. Never mind about parking for $40, $50, whatever that is. So before you even get in the gates, you then spent $500 just to get in Disney. So now you're spending $500 or $600 for accommodations. Now you're at $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, whether you flew or drove. You're in this thing for about $1,500 to $2,000. Now you're down there, you go to Disney, the kids are like going by and they're like, Dad, Mom, there's a water park over here. Don't you see these slides? And now you're paying $25 a kid to go in there so they can play around for 5 hours. Okay, so now Westgate says we're going to make a water park. So this is what they created. They created a water park at their location. Okay, guess what else? You don't have to pay $500 per night to stay here either. I see that's the only picture they're going to show. But these are just normal accommodations. Nothing extravagant, but this water park, you're now telling people you can stay here in water. And then what did they do? They said, okay, we have a shuttle to the parks, Universal, SeaWorld, Disney. It costs you $3.50 per person for the shuttle because they know it costs $45, $50, whatever it costs for parking. So it's like, okay, so you pay $20, $10, $17, whatever it is, to go to the park. Cool. You don't have to pay $45, $50 for parking. Great. But look, this is nothing extravagant. But look what else they have. Baseball field. Look at that little lake out there. Look at this. All right. This is pretty cool. Where they're sitting at right now, they have paddle boats. They used to have these Swan paddle boats. This is also a game room out here with the pool tables and ping pongs and game boards and all that is out there. So people are staying here. Yeah, Mom and Dad get the jacuzzi tub, all sweet. But look at this. Pools all over the place. See? Water park. If you're staying here, you get a wristband. You're in. All right. Now, the reason why this is important, place to eat. And by the way, this place is pretty good to eat at, by the way. But look, they have all these little extracurricular things going on. This is their lobby. Like I said, their lobby's pretty cool. And they have a movie theater here, by the way, on site. Okay. I forgot about the movie theater. They have that. Mini golf. All this is here at Westgate Town Center. You don't have to leave. Here's a draft sports bar. They have a game room place as well. Video game room. And as you can see, just nicely furnished stuff. It's nothing, nice. It's not anything crazy. Yeah, this is the deli, dessert and all that. They have all this. You don't have to leave. All right. This is the epitome of what I'm talking about. This is a condo, hotel, timeshare. All right. Look at this. This is insane. All right. So what I wanted to show you was all that so you can understand what's going on. Now, what I want to show you, though, is this. Here's the funny part. This is not on Victor Morello's Margaritaville status, even though they have all this as well. But because of their stature, let's see if it's even, it's spring break. The odds of it being available is pretty slim. But let's see what happens. Okay, look at this. $158 a night. This will probably be a studio unit. Because they have lockoffs there. All right. So let's see if we can get some pricing here. Oh, you guys can't see it. So, and there's the paddle boats. So when somebody says they don't understand what's going to happen, Orlando has so many resorts that people get to choose. And a lot of resorts have all these extracurricular amenities to them. Not across the way, but a little ways from here is Orange Lake Resort, which also has a water park and a little river park and all these other little things. Notice on the right-hand side, look at that. These are Swan paddle boats, all right, that people are using. I'm just saying, no additional cost. So see, look, $150 for a studio unit. So everybody who's in Cruise on Land, who doesn't think that they're going to be able to, the Cruise on Land guys figured they're only going to be able to get like 80, 90, 100 a night. This is a perfect example. Look at this, $150 a night for a studio. It can hold 4 people, but that's how much they're getting. All right. All I'm saying, look at this, a 1-bedroom, $176 per night. This does not even include the taxes. So you're roughly at $200 per night. 1-bedroom deluxe. That's because there's a sofa sleeper in the room. It's $200 per night. These are 1-bedrooms. 1-bedroom grand. Okay. It's a little nicer. They have these grand rooms, but nonetheless, Let's see if they have any 2 bedrooms though. Let's see if they have those. See, this is what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. There's even cheaper places to stay. It doesn't look like there's 2 bedrooms. So you're stuck with these 1 bedrooms at around $200 per night. $200 because after taxes, they're all going to be $200. Just about. Studio unit's going to cost you about $175 per night. So somebody's going to pay like $1,100 to stay here in a 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom. Well, 1 bedroom, they're going to pay $1,400. But you don't have to go to the water park. You have paddle boats, you have game rooms, you have a movie theater, you have all this extra stuff. You have the game room, the ping pong tables, the pool tables, you have restaurants on site, you have a shuttle. This is exactly what Cruise on Land, Larimar, Vista Cana, similar type of thing, where people are saying, well, I don't think people are going to pay for this. You can stay anywhere in Orlando for $200 per night. So why are they going to stay here versus somewhere else? They're not going to stay somewhere else. They're going to stay at Westgate Town Center. So just to prove the points, we'll do it this way. I'll go to, I'll use Expedia. I won't use Priceline, but I'll use Expedia. It's almost the same nowadays anyhow. So we'll go to Expedia. And I am going to go to Orlando. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, because Margaritaville is higher rated than this place, they get twice as much generally. Well, maybe not twice as much, but they'll get $300 per night. So just keep this in mind. We're going to go to Orlando. I'm going to go. Let's do this. This is how the competition works. So some people don't think. There's some people that think they're going, hey, all these extra amenities don't matter. I'm just going to charge like $50 less per night. Okay. You're about to see that. So here we go. Look at this. Universal's Endless Summer Resort, Dockside Inn and Suites, who has a pool, exclusive theme park and benefits, $165 a night. All right. Spring Hill Suites, $147 a night at SeaWorld. Does this look almost like the same price as the other place that has a water park? Now, people are choosing to stay here at Spring Hill Suites. People using the, which they have their own little splash water park stuff. But look, Element Orlando, they have their own little splash water parky thing too. Here's Westgate Lakes. They had to create their own like little water park over there. And look, they're at 147. So now everybody has to start doing a little bit of extra things. If you don't want to stay within the same realm of what somebody else has, you're going to be left behind. So everybody had to upgrade. Westgate Lakes did not have this water stuff going on. They were left behind. They had a lake, but they didn't have any water park features. So now they've added water park features. So again, they can stay in that same 150, 170, 180 per night range. Now, some people are going to say it's Spot X, nothing special. Some people are going to say it Legacy, which only has a pool. Look at though, 109. $50 a night, ladies and gentlemen, that starts adding up when you start saying I'm doing 200 room nights a year. You're missing out on tens of thousands of dollars by just a $50 a night difference. Here's Best Western, Lake Winnebago. They don't have nothing special, $104 per night. They're missing out on all of this. So you understand what I'm trying to say. It matters about what's going on in your neighborhood. And the newer the project is, the better. Okay, here we go. To Orlando, George's Charles. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. All right. He's like, who's buying Larimar and Cruise on Land? Larimar with me. Hey, man, a lot of people's probably doing that. We're up to about, well, I don't know about Cruise on Land. Victor Morel, family of 4 will pay over $600 just to get in just one day. Exactly. This isn't including parking, food, drinks, souvenirs, and hotel. This same family can spend $3K in a weekend easily. No more cheap days. You got that right. Victor Morrell is exactly right. He's exactly right. That's what ends up happening. That's what ends up happening. Yes, it gets expensive. Yes, it does. Especially, and so this is why when people are sitting there, they're going to Disney. And like Victor Morrell said, it could be $2 or $3 grand on a weekend very easily, especially when you start talking about 2 or 3 days in the park. And now parents come to the realization that if they stay there, they're like their kids are like, let's go to Universal, go to SeaWorld. Oh, let's go over to this mini golf splash park thingy. And they're just like, oh, damn, we went to Disney. Ain't that enough? And so if you have any extra amenities at the locations, like at a Margaritaville, like at a Westgate Lakes, like at a Westgate Town Center, that relieves you of having to sit there and spend some extra money when you say, hey, there's a theater over here. Cool. Hey, there's a water park here. Cool. There's a paddle boats out there by the lake. Cool. There's a game room over there. Cool. All of that adds up when you're in a place where kids are coming with you and you don't have to pay extra. That adds up. I keep going to the money, but ultimately nobody really wants to spend $4,000 for staying 2 or 3 days in Orlando just to go to the attractions. So anything that they don't have to spend another $400 or $500 for, that ends up being pretty major. Because that's the ultimate thing that's going to happen. If you have a water park at your spot, the kids are going to be there at least 3 or 4 times that week, instead of you having to take them to one of them splash places out there that's going to charge you $40 per person to get in. That's going to add up. The paddle boats with the water and the game room and all that, the kids can go play. They're not sitting around thumbing their nose and twirling their fingers going, man, there ain't nothing to do around here, because you're staying at an ordinary hotel. Those things matter to parents when they're planning vacations. They want their kids to have the best time. That's why we can charge the extra $50 to $100 per night, because you have the extra amenities. All right. There you go. We're going to wrap this up. Yeah. The more you make it convenience for exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, check out the new video I dropped earlier today. That is the webinar feature of this. And this is how you beat your competition with short-term rentals. Let me go over what you don't do. What you don't do is overpay for the real estate to begin with. That's the first number one thing. Number two, you don't go by really what your competition is doing. So in other words, we've already outlined what you should be doing with your unit. You make it look nice. You make it look comfortable. You make it look like it's a resting place. You put in colors. You don't put in red walls, for instance, right? You make colors look like it's seen, relaxing. Then you make sure the furniture serene, so relaxing. Your bed, relaxing. All the things you need for somebody to cook inside the kitchen, and quality cookware, not cheapy stuff. You go in there, get towels, not the cheapy style, the towels, nice, soft cotton. Okay. You go there and make sure you get pictures that depict the area that you're in, and you put them on the wall. You do all these things. You make sure everything's comfortable. That's how you stay ahead of your competition or equal your competition. After that, then you have to start going, we all have the same condo. We all are in the same complex. How are you going to distinguish yourself from the other people? Now you want people to say, hey, there was a bottle of wine left for us. There was a basket of goodies left for us. That's the next little key. Notice nobody in the Airbnb space in Punta Cana, mostly, I didn't see anybody saying they left us a gift basket. When we arrived, they left us a 6-pack of Coke and some drinks and some fruit. You follow what I'm saying? That little touch right there goes a long way upon arrival. First impressions mean a lot, right? So that's how you distinguish yourself. So notice all of these ones. When we were down Amar, how many people actually showed anything where they were leaving people like a gift basket, or leaving people like bottles of wine or sodas or whatever, water, for that matter, anything. There's hardly anybody doing that. Nobody's saying somebody left them something. So that's how you distinguish yourself. If we all are lined up and we all have cool ass furnished locations or condos or villas, all have main bathroom and furnishings. We all generally, we could say we all went to the same furniture store. But the way you decorate and put things on walls, the way you make it look, come in inviting, that's what changes the whole game. And now your reputation precedes yourself, because everybody that comes, they sit there and they see this guy has a 9, he's charging $250 a night. This other person has a 4.0, but he's charging $150 per night. Why is that? And they start reading reviews. Then they find out and they see there's a difference in the way the units look. And then they find out the owner here gave these people extra things. And that just those little extra that only cost you maybe 30, 40 bucks is getting you $100 more per night. So think about all of that. And again, this is how it works. Again, I'll use Vino Bello as a perfect example. We all have the same 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom studio units. They're all furnished the same. They all have a bottle of wine in the room. So now, upon check-in, somebody says, hey, it's my birthday week. It's my anniversary week. We're celebrating 10 years of working on the job. Guess what happens? When they check in at the front desk, there's a whatever you're there for. Understand whatever you're for. Here's a gift bag, by the way. They're just like, oh my God. People have called me up and said, I can't believe this. Thank you very much. So you do the extra, and then from there on, it's all gravy at that point, because now you have everything else on point, and they're like, man, I paid an extra $25 per night or $50 per night, and it was worth it, because they felt like the guy cared. And people, as long as you care, if we're talking about 25 to 50 bucks, they'll pay the extra if they got an extra service for it. And even if they didn't, as long as your place was top notch, they still feel like this place is top notch, because they go in somebody else's place and they're like, this is different. You're like, exactly. So just keep all that in mind. Just keep that always in mind. Always. I agree. Always be aware of your competition. Cruise On Land and Larimar, no competition, in my opinion. Yep, exactly. They are the competition. That's the way I look at it too. The top threes, like I said, the Vistacanas, the Larimars, the Cruise On Land, I think they're in a class by themselves at this point. And I think that leaves everybody in the dust. Unless somebody else has 600, 700, 800, 1,000 acres that is just sitting in the cut right now. And it's only going to cost more to produce this as time goes on. So I don't think they'd be sitting on 1,000 acres or 700 acres because there's no way 3-4 years from now, the cost to create these things will not be 100, 125 per square meter to build anything. So the longer they wait, the more it's going to cost. So that means people who get in at Cruise On Land, Larimar, Vistacana, it can't be duplicated. If a person says they have a 70 square meter condo and they're selling them for 120, 140, 150, 160 right now, that is like $200 a square meter. In 3 years, it's $250 or $300 a square meter, and the land's going to cost even more. So if you already have it, it's going to cost you more. If you did buy it, you're paying taxes on it while it's sitting there vacant, and you're not going to have anything productive on there for another 2 to 3 or 4 years after that. So in order to catch Vistacana, Cruise On Land, and Larimar, you better start getting busy. There's no way you're going to be able to catch them. And then somebody's going to have to spend $1 billion to match what they're doing, because they're spending like $400 million right now, each of them. So there's no competition, like George is just saying. You have to understand the landscape. Everybody that's going to be building right now are going to be building these nice little projects, and they might have a little bit of extra, but now it's going to be a standard. How are you going to be able to charge $300 per night? You're not. If if Larimar, Cruise on Land, and Vista Cana, and they're not charging $300 a night, then you're not going to be able to charge $300 a night if you're not in one of those projects or have a project similar to theirs. So keep that in mind. You want to beat the competition? This is strategy, actually. So when somebody said to me earlier, they were like, well, why did you pull out of Vista Cana? I said, at the time, I was like, they were talking about it was going to be third parties that was going to run all of the places, like the golf course, the sports complex, the Vista Cana Beach Club, the Vista Cana Clubhouse, and things like that. So I was like, I don't want no part of that. But I said, actually, as it turns out, yes, Vista Cana is going to be off the charts. I love the way they are. Everything's beautiful. I still love Vista Cana. There's no problem with it. But I said, I have this thing inherently in myself. Vista Cana is going to be upscale, kind of, in certain portions. It's up there. It's not going to be garbage. It's going to be beautiful there. But Larimar, to me, is luxury. And you know what comes with luxury. Victor Marrero knows what comes with luxury. Margaritaville is considered luxury, upscale. He gets to charge more money than I could ever charge at Westgate Town Center. Even though we have a similar type of amenities, multiple pools all over the place. There's like 7 or 8 pools. There's a water park, full blown, water slides, splash pads. There's a movie theater. There's a food courts, and actually it's more than a food court. It's restaurants, a sports bar. I mean, game rooms, paddle boats included. You don't have to pay extra. All of it's included. A shuttle to all 3 parks, major parks, but you do have to pay for the shuttle. I think it's $3.50 a person. It might be $5 a person now. But the point is, it's similar to Margaritaville, but their 2-bedroom, they can't charge no $3.50 a night unless it's on a holiday weekend. They can't get that on a normal basis. So that's the difference. The branded luxury upscale vibe versus all-inclusive vibe versus a condo hotel that is just ordinary, even though the places kind of look nice for most families. Everything's fine. There's not a problem, but it's not upscale. So therefore, you can always charge more. So when the inflation occurs, Margaritaville gets to raise their prices because they are the standards, for instance. So I'm going to give you a perfect example now before I go, and this will be the last example we're going to look at tonight. I haven't looked at none of these. In fact, I'm going to go find Margaritaville. All right. Orlando. And let's go see if we can get prime time. This week here is the last week of some sort of spring break kind of thing. Normally, let's see what we get from Margaritaville. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. So we can't even get, okay, we're going to find out what it is, but because they have Hotel Wiz and these other, I don't know where these other locations are, that means Expedia and all these guys don't even have anything. So this is crazy. $433 per night. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? That's pretty cool. Don't you think? That's pretty cool. This right here is a perfect example of the difference between upscale and just, okay, it's not quite upscale. It's still nice. But look at what these guys are getting. Look at this, $432 per night, non-refundable, 2 adults. They're ending up spending $3,300. This is going to be $3,450 after you add the resort fee. This, I don't know what size unit this is, though. That's the question. This looks like a hotel. It says hotel amenities. I don't know what size unit this is. That's weird. It looks like it's just a hotel room. This is crazy. I don't even think it's available to really book, but again, this is a perfect example of why when somebody tells me, Eric, why would you not do Vista Cana and why you would do Larimar? This is the example. Look, they have pools, they have wave pool, they have cabanas, they have a water park, they got all kind of stuff here. Actually, this is at Margaritaville Resort, which look at, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is their inside. Much different, cozy, tropical theme, beautiful, relaxation, serene. Look at this. This is what I'm referring to. So people are paying $432 a night. And I think this is just a regular, I don't know what this is. They're not even saying what it is. It doesn't say what this is. I don't know what this is. This is crazy. I think this is a hotel room. I really do. I think this is a hotel room. Even if you could book it, I think they're full. I don't really think this is a bookable thing. Sometimes you have these ghost reservations. But anyhow, once again, I just wanted to show you, this is why there's a huge difference. Huge difference. All of this you see right here, even though they have a store at Westgate, they have a store, they have seating areas, they got all this stuff, but it doesn't look this nice. Doesn't look this nice. All right. So I guess this is the room here. This looks like a, well, hotel room with a little kitchen area, possibly. I don't know what this is. It looks like a 1-bedroom, maybe 2-bedroom. I don't know what this unit is. It's hard to say. It could be this is a different living room. So I don't know what this is. It's not really saying. Just says 1 room, non-refundable. I wish I had an idea. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't tell me. So anyhow, the point I was trying to make was unknown to me that we can't find out what the unit size is. I'll just have to assume it's a 1-bedroom, I guess. I don't know. But we know the room at Westgate was roughly $200 per night. This is double. All right. This is double, ladies and gentlemen. That ought to tell you what I'm trying. Look, here's Westgate right here. 158. You know, that was the studio. You know, the 1-bedroom was 200 or roughly 200 a night. But look over here. They're doing $433 a night. What size unit is this for $433? They're getting it. Hotel Wiz is like the last person that has a room. All the rooms are sold out. And this is Margaritaville Resort. So think about this. All right. That's awesome. Here we go. I don't know about the Margaritaville Hotel, but I can tell you we're booked solid until mid-June. It's basically a renter checking out in the morning and another renter checking in the afternoon. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, I wasn't sharing my screen. Damn it. But anyhow, that's the 433. Thanks for, you guys didn't see all of that. That's awesome, Victor. 85% occupancy. Exactly. And notice, again, here's the point. They're not charging $200 per night. You literally have almost the same amenities as Margaritaville at Westgate Town Center. But Westgate Town Center, because their branding is not upscale, they can't get $433 a night for a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom. Can you believe this? This is incredible when you think about it. Imagine having all those things at your disposal, the same thing they have at Margaritaville, but you charge $200 a night less. That's money you're losing, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why there's something to be said about luxury and upscale and amenities. All those things go hand in hand. That's why Vista Cana, Larimar, and Cruise on Land are something special, because they have amenities plus they're upscale, and you take it to another level, you could be luxury. So inside, Vista Cana has Savannah. That's luxury. That's upscale. So they have these places inside Vista Cana. Some of these places, like Oasis del Lago, is supposed to be upscale. Hell, they charge enough for the villas already, $400,000, $500,000 for villas. Okay, that's supposed to be upscale. You go over to Sabana, that's upscale. They're already charging $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 for villas. So Equestrian Center, always upscale. So they have a blend of luxury and upscale. Then you go out to Larimar. It's a blend of upscale, luxury. You go out to Cruise on Land, family, upscale. I'm not going to call them luxury, but they have tins of luxury as well because they have man-made beaches. They have restaurants. They have bars. They have cabanas. All of these things, they're a mix. So now everybody has to compete against them. And like I said, some people are going to be charging $70 per night to stay at Celine 5. I'm going to be sitting there going, okay, I have a 2-bedroom, but I'm charging $175. I have ocean view from over here. We have all these luxury items and a boardwalk downstairs just for starters. We won't even get into the Central Park back here that has some more lakes and pools and soccer fields and basketball courts and tennis courts and all that. We'll just start with the boardwalk. That completes the whole thing. Nobody has that boardwalk to match. Nobody. So therefore, you're not going to pay an extra $50 and bring your friends with you, and you don't have to pay extra or go anywhere or do anything and pay to ride downtown and go ride around, going to the beach and all that. No. You'll pay the extra. You'll pay the $150. You'll pay the $175. You'll pay the $200. Like I said, just like Victor Marrero is getting an extra $200 per night, and it appears for the same 1-bedroom unit that they're charging at Westgate, they're getting over here at Margaritaville. And they literally almost have the same amenities. That's what's crazy about this at the Margaritaville Resort and Resort. So, and imagine if you stay in cottages. That could actually raise up the price even more. And the cottages could be 2-bedroom cottages, but they're cottages, standalones. So people pay an extra for that. So you have to think about this. This is the competition part that most people don't think. They're just thinking, I'm just going to go buy in Punta Cana. I'm just going to go buy in Orlando. And I'm just going to buy and think that everything's going to be an 85% occupancy. It doesn't work that way. It's going to be 85% occupancy if you have a reason for people to want to stay at your place that has to be in demand. So right now, everybody that has a condo at Connemara, for instance, in Cap Cana, everybody that has Celine 5, you should, Christopher, you better be taking advantage, getting as many rentals as you can. Because when these mega projects come on board in the next 2.5 to 3 years, you are going to have problems because when people land at the airport, when people see on social media, they're going to be asking, where are these places? And when they see a shuttle that says, here's a shuttle to Larimar, a shuttle to Cruise on Land, a shuttle to Vista Cana, a shuttle to wherever else that's going to create something crazy, people are going to say, I could have stayed here for an extra $75 per night. And now I'm spending all this freaking money driving all over the place to get to these locations, type of locations and amenities. Sheesh, that's crazy. So all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap it up. It's after midnight. It's been a long day. I made a 1.5 hour video talking something like this, not about the competition, but giving people information and insight. Now, tonight, we're talking about competition. We've talked about this several times before. Don't get left behind. Don't sleep. All right? There's ways you can get left behind. You can own it, Larimar. You can own it, Cruise on Land. You can own it, Vista Cana. You could do what somebody at Vista Cana has done. They have a townhome. Originally, their townhome complex, yes, they have security gates. They do not have a pool. They do not have amenities whatsoever in their separate complex. They were trying to get $300 per night, their townhome. You would see the pictures of this townhome, and it's a mess. The colors are all wrong. The furniture is garbage. Everything that goes against the rules. They dropped the price now down to $205, and somebody's still not renting it because it looks like garbage. It's a hot mess. And they have no amenities within their complex. So yes, you have amenities, but guess what? The sports complex isn't ready. The fishing club that's there, but you can't go out there. You're not part of the fishing club. The golf course is not ready. The only thing they have there right now is the man-made beach that you can go swimming in. So now they're like nobody else. So what? You can go over there, go on the man-made beach. Great. Go to Yaki Lounge bar and eat and drink. Great. But after that, you're just like everybody else that has a condo and a pool at this point. All you can do is, man, we got to go somewhere. If you want to go work out, we got to get off. We got to get a ride. If we want to go shopping, we got to get a ride because the shopping center is not built at the front. So you're in the same boat. You can't charge $300 and some odd dollars. You can't even charge $200 right now. You're in the same boat as everybody else that just has a condo and a pool. So that's what you're dealing with, and that's how you beat the competition, ladies and gentlemen. You buy a project that already beats the competition that's existing, and then from there you can build on top of it. And nobody can catch you if it's not already built. That's the beauty of it. All right, we're going to wrap it up. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen, but if somebody tells you you can get no credit check, no qualifying real estate, you better get it while the getting's good. In a year and a half to 2 years, inflation, it's probably still going to be the same, but interest rates are going to be down. So funding is going to be wide open. So you should be thinking about putting yourself in position to get yourself some short-term rental income coming in, and you need the properties to boot. So with all that said, just make sure while you're out here, be safe. I love you very much. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for being here. But just make sure, above all, be safe, be smart, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.